listening to the Continuous Call team on 2GB. Thanks to Macca's, Harvey Norman, Bryden's Lawyers, Uber, Lowe's and 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Rugby league fans, buckle up. Buckle up.
Oh, what a try!
Because it's game time.
Oh, that was a great bit of football. This is unbelievable.
Sunday Arvo footy. This is what we live for. With the Continuous Call team.
This is what we live for.
With Darren Flindell, Daryl Broman and Mark Riddell.
Just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
The Continuous Call team, thanks to Macca's, Harvey Norman, Ram Trucks, Ducks Hot Water, All.com, Bryden's Lawyers, Uber, Lowe's, 1-800-GOT-JUNK, Westpac and Coles.
Sunday afternoon footy, it's going to be a cracker.
This afternoon, Canterbury Bulldogs.
Marty burrowed his way over. He outstretched the right arm, plants the ball down.
Versus Canberra Raiders.
Short ball away, Hudson Young. And Hudson Young, did he get there? Yes. He scores back-to-back tries. Oh, that's just pretty to watch.
And now, live right across Australia, Darren Flindell.
Well, what an afternoon we have here from the Belmore Sports Ground. The team's just leaving the sheds now. Just the second time this stadium's been used in the current season. And what a year it's been for the Canterbury Bulldogs as they're in search of a position in the top four. A big day for Canberra, for Josh Papali'i. He's celebrating a very special moment. His 300th NRL game. He's been an absolute legend for the Raiders over a long period of time. And Josh Papali'i, he leads the team out onto the field. Both teams are last star winners. Last week, the Bulldogs beat the Broncos at Suncorp Stadium. They walloped them up there, and even threw a bit of extra in with a late field goal. 41-16 there. And the Raiders beating South at home 32-12. So they both come in as last half winners. Today, we see the return to the Bulldogs of both Stephen Crichton and Josh Addo-Carr, back from his hamstring injury, adding extra spice to the lineup today. Blake Wilson and Jarrell Skelton has been in great form. Jarrell will be the 18th man now. Only one change for the Raiders, and Strange will go back to the interchange, and Cook, Adam Cook, number 18, will be the 5'8". Well, what an afternoon we've got ahead of us here at Belmore, boys.
Well, Darren, I don't know about Adam Cook. I don't know much about him. I see he's played 2 games this year, so he's clearly a 5'8". Ethan Strange has been pretty good for them this year. As you said, a couple of players coming back, and they're big names. Stephen Crichton, Josh Addo-Carr for the Dogs. You know, when you look at their form, the Dogs, they've been really good this year. And they had a big win last week against Brisbane, but based on what the Broncos dished up yesterday, maybe it wasn't as big a win as you might think. And the Raiders, on the other hand, had a big win over the Bunnies, who weren't that flash last night themselves. So, you know, the form might be a little bit misleading here. You just don't know. But given the fact the Dogs have won every game at home this year, I'm tipping the Dogs. I think they might do it easily, Pig.
Oh, I'm with you, big man. I think this big crowd here now at Belmore Sports Ground might get them home.
Canberra kick it off, and they're running to the northern end, to the railway side of the Belmore Sports Ground. And Sam Hughes to get the first touch of the ball here for the Bulldogs. So this is the scene here. Reid Marnie into dummy half and passes it out to the winger Jacob Carraz, getting an early touch of the ball, and quickly wrapped up by three Canberra defenders there right on the Westpac red zone line. Now Marnie across to Josh Curran, goes on a solo run and is quickly brought down, approaching the 20-metre marker out there. Okay, so the Bulldogs trying to run it further forward. They're 3 tackles down, and we're only 30 seconds in to the opening half. Now Marnie across to the fullback, Connor Tracy. He goes on his own, and that is the 4th, now the 5th tackle. So here we go on the last. Mac Burton puts up a big bomb deep down into Canberra territory, and is taken perfectly there by Savage, and he's quickly wrapped up about 8 metres out from his own line.
Well, Darren, that was a great set from the Dogs, but it was finished off with a great kick and chase. Here they are after 2 tackles here, the Canberra Raiders. They've gone nowhere. They're on the 10-metre line. It was an impressive start from the Dogs.
Second tackle now for the Raiders, back on their own 10-metre line. And defence stronger Canterbury have built up the reputation this year as the second best defensive team in the premiership.
And that's hard work, you know, but it's not easy to get that. I mean, if you're a good defensive side, you're going to go a fair way in this competition, and they are. They've just got to find their attacking mojo.
Deep kick by Canberra down into Bulldogs territory, and Carraz runs it right up to about the 10-metre mark prior to the halfway line. So Carraz plays the ball. Here's Josh Adokar with his first touch of it, back from a hamstring injury and pretty heavily wrapped up too around the thighs. Josh. Now Jacob Prestons goes for a run there on the third tackle now here for the Bulldogs. Marnie into dummy half. Across to Kurt Mann, and now Jacob Prestons goes right down the middle on the fourth tackle. Six again now for the Bulldogs, and they're 25 out from the Raiders line. Now Marnie coming into dummy half, ball played by Kurt Mann. Josh Curran with a strong run over on the blind side there, and now Josh Curran has been pulled down inside the 10 metres there. Now Burton lining up on the left. Marnie goes to the right there to Kurt Mann, across to Sexton. Back on the inside to Jacob Prestons, who made a run towards the post, and he's brought down on the third tackle now right in front of the sticks. Josh Curran missed out there. Sexton. Burton puts a grubber kick through, and it's going to go over the in-goal line.
Well, Burton put a nice little kick in there. It was beautifully weighted. Unfortunately for the Bulldogs, Bronson Cherry came steaming through, got a fingertip to it. I thought he was going to tap it up for himself, but he obviously tapped it a bit too strong. It almost went over the dead ball line. So I thought it's been a nice start from the Bulldogs. They look keen and ready to go, but you know, from a Raiders perspective, they managed to hold on the first couple of sets from the Dogs.
So the Raiders on the attack now, and Elliot Whitehead in possession, and he's met by some pretty stiff defence there from the Bulldogs. Have just pushed him back a few metres or so, and now Weeks on a run towards the sideline. Now we're on the third tackle. Tarpanay goes for a run on his own. Pops the pass back to Smithies, who's brought down about 25 out from the line. Now we've got Starling into dummy half, goes to the right, and wrapped up there Smithies. So Canberra on the fifth tackle, and Fogarty goes to the air, but Adokar is right underneath, but the referee about to award a penalty.
Yeah, penalty. Looks like it's a penalty going to be over to the Raiders here.
Got to make a tackle.
So he's penalised someone for not making a tackle. Billy Army kick out looks like was the culprit here.
On the kicker, I think, Big
Let's have a
Man.
look.
Oh, please.
Gee whiz. What's going on in there, Gus? I mean, he ran through. He's you're entitled to put some pressure on him. He bumped into him. He certainly didn't smash him. They get a penalty. They take the tap. Here's Tarpanay. He's getting awfully close here, Tarpanay.
Very strong Tarpanay. He's only a metre short of the line. Starling to Papali'i. Papali'i tried to push his way over, but he's promptly pushed back as well, about a metre and a half from the line. Raiders on the attack with Hudson Young. Hudson Young goes to ground now, a few metres short of the line. This is the third tackle. Starling bypassing Papali'i out to Fogarty, and back there for Matthew Timoko. And Timoko brought down just in front of the post. Now Papali'i, he's given the ball a flick pass out the back. Hudson Young tried to get it. It's on the boot now from the Bulldogs, and this might be six more. Fogarty now in possession and takes it up a few metres out from the line. So the tackle count has been reset, and the Raiders are running hard towards the northern end of the ground. Smithy's going on a strong run on his own, brought down a few metres shy of the Canterbury line. Starling, Papali'i, a little show there. He's having another crack at trying to go in under the post and has been brought down 2 metres short. Third tackle, Raiders on the attack. Sebastian Chris goes for a run over towards the grandstand corner, and once again is brought down a few metres short. So the Raiders are really pouring on the pressure. They're 4 tackles down. Now they go towards the hillside. Adam Cook there briefly, and now Tarpanay out to Starling. They're forcing it out wide again. And Morgan Smithies has been brought down about 10 out on what will be the last tackle. Last go here for the Raiders. Over to the hillside. Fogarty showed. They've passed the ball out there. It's gone to ground. And the referee's pulling this up. Knock on.
Yeah, he's called a knock on here. I see the Billy Arby kick-out's high-fiving here. I thought it might have come off the Bulldogs. Let's have a listen.
Lost the ball by Billy Army. Thought he knocked the pass down.
Okay, so they're saying the original decision is to knock on Bulldogs here, so the Bulldogs are challenging this. This is early to go for a challenge, Pig, 6 minutes in.
They were pretty confident. I think Matt Burton was, well, he's one of the players involved in the tackle. It was a flick pass.
Whitehead offloads the ball.
That's play on for me.
Touches Bronson Sherry's leg, who's not playing at the ball.
Yeah. Bulldogs play here. Addo-Carr, he comes through and picks it up.
And Josh Addo-Carr gathers the ball. Just keep this going.
Well, it's a Bulldogs ball. What do we keep?
They'll just probably want to see where he finishes.
Yeah.
Takes clean possession. The challenge is successful.
Yeah.
Listen to the punters there. Wouldn't it be good to be out there today?
They were adamant.
Having a few little bevies on the hill there
something.
at Belmore. And that's a Bulldog supporter waving a flag and screaming stuff out. That's what we want.
On the low scoreboard, we're 6 minutes in and no score here at Belmore, and it's a sea of blue and white everywhere.
There's plenty there, isn't there? They've started well here, the Dogs. I thought they handled everything the Raiders could throw at them then pretty easily. I've got to say, I didn't think it was a great group of runs and
plays
tackles
were
from
ordinary,
them, was
weren't
it?
they?
It was pretty average from the Raiders.
Jacob Carraz getting involved early in the game and takes it up to 10 metres short of the halfway line, and now Jacob Preston on a run and brought down by 2 defenders. 12 short of the halfway, out to Burton over on the hillside. Kickow getting a touch of the ball, and Kickow runs it right up to the line, brought down. Now Marnie goes to the right side to Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes goes on his own and makes some pretty valuable ground here. 4th tackle down, still no score. Well, 5th tackle in now, no score here at Belmore on the low scoreboard. Now Burton goes to the air, very high. Oh, and Addo-Carr had a crack at there, but Savage took it brilliantly and has quickly been tackled a short moment after. So Savage getting the Raiders back under control here, and now they run the ball further upfield on the first tackle down. Tarpanay and Timoko goes on his own there. Oh, they've lost possession of the ball.
Yeah, penalty. Geez, they're having a few things go their way at the moment on Raiders. They're saying they stripped the ball there. They may well have. I mean, they've still got a challenge up their sleeve. But you have a look at the fans, and on the hill there at Belmore, which is, a beautiful sight, isn't it? Particularly if you're a Bulldog supporter, all the blue there, blue and white. It's just phenomenal. Yeah, on a serious note, it's hard to find a Raiders supporter amongst all them. They're really spasmodic. There'd be 1 in 100 there, I reckon.
It's like a Where's Wally?
Where's Wally?
Yeah. Where are they? There's one.
Wally Cohen, he's a Raiders supporter, mate of mine.
You found him.
Yeah, he's there.
There's that little corridor with the green grass where they can run down, so this one could be sleeping there and you wouldn't notice him.
It's the corridor of uncertainty. Davo, that's for you, champion.
The Raiders are on the attack, bringing it down to the 20-metre line now. So Starling plays the ball. Tarpanay in possession. Now Hudson Young. Hudson Young trying to dodge some of his own teammates to make some ground. And is brought down on the 4th tackle.
He might have copped one in the head here. He's staying down. I hate this in rugby league.
Here we go.
I hate it. He might have copped one in the head. He's staying down. He's going to wait. They're going to have a look at it, and he may well get a penalty, even though he's flexing his leg. I don't think the referee's going to fall for it. He said, just play the ball, champion. He said, Hudson, champion, just play it. Talking like you, Darren.
Hudson with an H. Righto, so we're back underway here, and Tapane goes with a run on the 5th and last tackle. Out to Adam Cook, and once again Hudson Young in possession, being brought down here and well smothered up. Referee is called held there, and time for the changeover.
Well, it's an awful last tackle option. They knew it was the last tackle. Every man and his dog knew it was the last tackle, and they just gave it to Hudson Young, one off the ruck. It's just, so do your best. I would have thought they could have either dabbed it into the in-goal area, or at least put it in the air.
Low scoreboard, no score on the board here after 9 minutes of play at the Belmore Sports Ground, and now Canberra defending with Canterbury Bulldogs here trying to run it out of their own territory, and Reid Marnie throws it out to Burton, and Burton goes to ground. Inside the 30 now, Marnie, Kurt Mann runs behind Marnie there briefly. I think 1 or 2 of the Canberra players are calling for an obstruction, but play on. Now the Bulldogs play the ball 5 out from the halfway line. Jacob Prestons is wrapped up by 2 defenders and put to ground on the 5th and last tackle. So now Reid Marnie has to put the kick in. It goes right down the neck of Xavier Savage, who had no troubles picking that up and is able to advance his position up to the 30-metre line.
Well, they're trying to get up into the Westpac red zone here, the Bulldogs, but at the moment they're being a little bit... I'm trying to think the right word to describe them. The Raiders, they're certainly hanging in there. I know we've only had 10.5 minutes of play here, but the side that looks most likely to score has probably been the Bulldogs. But the Raiders are just hanging in there. There's a great run from Papali'i, made about 20 metres.
Yeah, the day's all about Josh celebrating his 300th game in the NRL for the Canberra Raiders, his first club, and here he is. And very elite company, locking up the 300 Rapana, who the ball was taken down on the last tackle.
That's the last tackle again.
An unproductive set there from the Raiders.
They decided to run it down the short side. They just had the winger, Rapana, there, and just meekly turn over possession of the Bulldogs.
Well, it's got to be a tactic. I mean, surely, you know, if it wasn't one of their tactics, he would have told them straight away the first time it happened, Ricky. You would have thought, but once again, they went to Rapana on the blind side. He was the only Raiders player on the blind side. There were 3 or 4 Bulldogs there. It was just it was a nothing play.
So on the low scoreboard, it's 0-0. And in the all.com clock, 11 minutes into play.
We've got a lot of sponsors, Darren. You need to go through them. I'll just take you through it. If we get a Ram Trucks tough tackle, first try scorer for First National Real Estate, that mightn't even happen in this game.
Yes, now Canterbury on the attack down the hillside. And Bronson Sherry's wrapped up on the 40-metre line, 40 out from the Raiders line. Reid Marnie bypass Sam Hughes to Sexton, now to Crichton, just jig-jogging around, and Crichton goes to ground on the 4th, now 5th tackle, and they're 35 out from the Raiders line. So now Burton will go with a high bomb. There's plenty of chasers. Addo Carr's right underneath it, along with Savage, and it goes straight down the neck of Savage, and he's quickly wrapped up by 2 Bulldogs defenders, so still no score here. Those that have taken the unders might be thinking they've done a good thing.
At the moment, they'd nearly be thinking how good's this. They're like taking weed off blind chooks, but at the moment, I mean, the kicking game of the Bulldogs is probably better, mainly because they are putting a kick in. Here's the Raiders. This is tackle 3, I think. Rapana has got the ball there 20 or 30 out from their own line. Now they're trying to make some ground here. No penalties to be seen or heard of here. Here's a kick from the halfback. It's a nice kick, but they should get good field position. It's a great kick.
Oh, Carraz has been able to throw it back into play, and Connor Tracy was there to swoop it up.
Well, Connor Tracy was about to get dragged into touch, and he had to flick it back to Carraz. When Carraz flicked it back in, I thought it was going to go straight to Rapana, but he missed it. Oh, it's a shocking pass across the field here to Crichton, but he picked it up beautifully. They get a penalty, the Dogs. Geez, they needed that high shot. Big Papa's saying, "You're kidding, ref." Shakes his head, walks back, said, "I don't think it was." Let's have another look at it here. Oh, this is the 40-20 attempt. But, geez, it was an interesting play there from the winger Carraz. He got back there. That was going to go. How did he keep that in? Like, he jumped up, tapped it back in. It very nearly went. It was actually Sebastian Chris who was there. Nearly went straight into his hands. Anyway.
So Carraz that started it, flicked it back to Tracy, then Tracy's flicked it back to Carraz.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Well, they've had a good start, the Dogs, but they've got nothing to show for it here. They're hanging in here, the Raiders, and that's what they do.
Still no score here at Belmore. And Josh Curran goes with a run. His trademark headgear. Josh Curran goes to ground on the first tackle. Now Meany. Dummy up, Sam Hughes going for a run over the halfway line. 2 tackles down. Kurt Mann. Sexton back inside to Preston's. Now Preston's in the middle of the ground, is brought down 40 out. We go to the hillside now. Sexton over to Burton, to Tracy. Something doing here on the far side, but Tracy's brought down on the 4th tackle. Here we go, 2 to go. Now Burton to Marnie. Now Marnie's running across field. He'll go for the grubber kick. Jacob Preston's there, and he pursuer. He lunges. Did he get it down?
No, he didn't. He was first there. There was two other Raiders players there. He's gone to the video ref. He's got no try.
I have no try. Confirm that Jacob knocks the ball on and it goes dead off him.
No, I think Preston had first crack at this. He did a great job to get there. He had Rapana and also the fullback coming across here, KO Weeks. But Preston powered between both of them, had first crack at it, but just, you know what happens?
That Jacob Preston doesn't get a touch on the ball.
He gets knocked off the ball there.
I think when you're contesting it, you're
allowed to go shoulder to shoulder.
See, he's about to try and plant this down, and Rapiner
Both
goes
players are shoulder to shoulder towards the ball, and the ball comes off Jordan Rapiner.
I'm not sure that is shoulder
That's
to
hip
shoulder.
to shoulder. That's not shoulder to shoulder.
See, it was about to pounce on that.
He knocks him out of the way with his hip. That's not shoulder to shoulder.
I think there is an argument for a penalty try there, or at least a penalty.
Well, you do get the feeling there that had that not have occurred, it could be a protest. Had that interference not have occurred, he might have been there in time to ground the ball.
It was some sort of kick from Reid Marnie, and what a chase from Preston. He was just about to pounce on that. It was going to set up beautifully for him, but Rapiner went and just sort of nudged him away from the ball. So they didn't get a result there, the Bulldogs, but geez, they went awfully close.
Goal line drop out there from the Raiders, and it's just gone over the 10.
He's offside.
He's offside.
The Raiders player went up, tapped the ball forward, it hit another Raiders player who was in front of him on the knee and ricocheted back. That's offside. There's no doubt that's offside. Sebastian Chris hits it into, I think, Tarpanay. In saying that, they get a great result here, the Dogs. They've got a scrum packing slap bang in the middle of the field, 10 metres out. They should score from here.
15 minutes in on the all.com scoreboard, and it's 0-0. But here we go, the Bulldogs get their chance now. Sexton feeds the scrum. Marnie across to Burton, going to the hillside corner. And he's brought down a metre or two short of the line. Now Addo Carr goes into dummy half and pops it over to Marnie, to Kurt Mann. Josh Curran gets the ball now. And Josh Curran's wrapped up here on the second tackle. Still no score at the Belmore Sports Ground, 15 minutes in. Now Marnie in dummy half across to Kurt Mann. Sexton, cut out pass. In fact, the pass went to no one. It was tapped there, but a penalty goes to the Bulldogs. Penalty awarded to the Bulldogs inside the 10.
Got him for being offside there. Again, Rapiner nearly pounced on that too. It was a looping ball over the top. Bit of a Harbour Bridge pass there from Toby Sexton. And once again, they're a little bit lucky it didn't go straight into the arms of Rapiner. They decide to take the tap. They're building a bit of pressure, the Dogs, but they need to get a result here, I reckon.
So Josh Curran's been wrapped up on the right-hand side of the post, but just creeping a little bit closer to the line as well. Kurt Mann steps off the left, but runs into three Raider defenders there and is brought to ground on the second tackle. So Reid Marnie down to dummy half. Sam Hughes was coming through with a pretty strong run there and is brought down a metre or two shy of the line. Now Marnie held up here over the line. Just trying to work out who got possession of the ball.
I think it's kick out.
Yep. Just went short again. Reid Marnie there from dummy half. Harvey Norman replay. The Raiders do well there just to hold him up.
They did very well, didn't they? The halfback and the hooker there just got him and rolled him on his back. So they've still got a couple of tackles here, the Dogs.
On the attack now with Kurt Mann to Sexton, to Connor Tracy, to Crichton. Crichton going for the corner. Yes! Got up. Steve Crichton has gone to the corner and grounded the ball for the first try for the Bulldogs.
Well, the Harvey Norman replay shows this is one hell of an effort from Stephen Crichton. What a player he's been and what a buy he's been for the Bulldogs. There really wasn't much doing it along the back line there. He got the ball. He had a one-on-one there with Seb Chris. He took him on and he beat him. He beat him over the top, and then from that moment on, he had the momentum going here. Crichton plants it down in the corner. It's pretty straightforward backline movement here. Sexton onto the fullback there in Connor Tracy. Gave it to Crichton. He just fended off two of them, actually. He fended off, firstly, I think it was the centre who was marking him, Seb Chris, and then he went over the top of Rapiner as well. Neither of them could hold him, and he just slams it down in the corner. That's some sort of individual effort there from Stephen Crichton. What a try.
Yeah, it's a special one, isn't it? The way he just manhandles Chris and then Rapiner. Yeah, the Canberra Raiders did a really good job defensively. When they got off their line, they presented a line really well. At the end of the day, those two players we've just mentioned from the Raiders, they needed to come up with a better attempted tackle there on Stephen Crichton. He just brushed both of those defenders off, goes over for the first try in the corner to the Bulldogs. So after, building a little bit of pressure there, the Bulldogs. They finally come away with points.
Well, the first try scorer for First National Real Estate is Stephen Crichton. He did it all himself. They're putting you first in whatever stage you are in when your property journey, unlocking your dreams, your future, Pig.
Yep.
First National Real Estate, your key to happiness. So congratulations, Stephen Crichton. That's a try that's probably been coming for a little while, but it has taken them a while. He eventually got there. It was a great try.
That's his 7th try this season for Stephen Crichton, and he's 63rd overall. Now, Burton coming in for the conversion, a metre in from the touchline, but it's just been waved away to the right. So no addition to the score. The Bulldogs 4 lead the Raiders 0. 18 minutes into play. You're listening to the Continuous Call team.
Make it McSmart with the new McSmart meal from Macca's. 2 burgers, small fries and small soft drink for $6.95. T's and C's apply.
He's just a unit, isn't he? He's so big, Crichton. I didn't realise how tall he was, and he'd be 110 kilos, I reckon, and he's just fast. What a player he's been for them, and what a buy he's been for them. He's fitted in seamlessly there, hasn't he, since he's come from Penrith? But he's just been phenomenal for them.
Okay, so we're 18 minutes in the opening half. The Bulldogs 4 lead the Raiders 0 on the low scoreboard, and Steve Crichton scoring the lone try of the game so far, his 7th this season. So the Bulldogs running it out from their own line. Now Marnie across to Josh Curran, skipping forward and looking to offload, but is well smothered up there. So Curran goes to ground. Marnie coming into dummy half. There's about 4 players there on the left side, but they come to the right. Now Sexton, a show and go there from Sexton to pirouette, and he's been brought down now. So the Bulldogs 3 tackles down, and they're pretty much bang on the halfway line as well. Connor Tracy goes for a run and is brought down 45 out. Marnie into dummy half, now across to Sexton. Kurt Mann showed it to Curran. He keeps running across field. Kickow gets the ball. Kickow going for a run. Lost possession of the ball though. The ball went forward and the referee's calling it up. Josh Adokar actually scooped it up and tried to do a sly one there and run for the corner.
I think so. I think he knocked it on, Josh Adokar. He ran across field, gave it to Kickow, beat a couple of players. Then he's tried to, I think, flick it out the back, but it's just bounced forward there. Picked up by Adokar, but the ball went about 1.5 metres forward there. But lucky it did go forward because he fended off his opponent there pretty easily, Xavier Savage. They just, to me, look like if they score another one here, the Dogs, they might just get another one and then another one. They look better than what the Raiders do. And they look better by a decent margin, I reckon.
So Canberra have won the scrum there, and it's being run out by Sebastian Chris. We're 20 minutes into the first half. And Canberra trying to make some good ground here. Rapana goes for a run, pretty much up to the halfway mark. Now Starling into dummy half. And it goes to the right side. And in possession of the ball there, Trey Mooney, now 15 for Canberra. Now Tarpany across to Fogarty, back inside now to Starling. They're going nowhere at the moment here, the Raiders.
They don't know what they're doing, Darren. They're trying little things, but they're not trying big things. This bloke's having a big game.
Tarpany with a strong run. Tarpany. And now a flick past, the ball still alive here. Mooney. Now Mooney's quickly smothered up, so a little bit of something there for the Raiders fans to cheer about. Last tackle here, only metres out from the northern line. Goes for a kick there. It's come off the leg of Sexton. So the Raiders will cop another 6 to go here. And Starling going for a run in the middle of the ground, running right across the field. Links up there with Elliot Whitehead. Now Whitehead's going to offload to the fullback. Weeks is ducking and weaving and gets within 2 metres of the line. So the Raiders starting to show a little bit in this set. Charging to the line, Mooney. Mooney under the post.
Yeah, gets there. I mean, they were just starting to look vulnerable there, the Bulldogs. It was a pretty average defensive set from them. They put a kick through that got ricocheted, and they got a little bit of luck there and got 6 again. But that's something that they won't be happy with. Cameron Ciraldo particularly, straight up the middle of the ruck. There's a problem here for the back rower here.
Josh Curran.
He's got a problem with his shoulder, his front rower actually. Got a problem with his shoulder, but this was a bit too easy here for the Bulldogs. They've got great defence, but it was just to play the ball. Went straight to the big, front rower / back rower, Trey Mooney. I mean, you got to do a bit better than that. It was the player went underneath.
Kurt
Mann.
Yeah.
You got to try and hit him around the chest here when they're coming at that speed near the line. You can't be hitting him around the the waist. And he just powered his way over. It was too easy.
Yeah, he had eyes for the ruck. He wasn't looking up at what was coming in front of him, Kurt Mann. And then by the time he realised and recognised the situation, as you said, Big Man, he went low in the tackle. He needed to get up there, get that ball in all sort of style tackle, along with his teammates, Preston on the outside. But they surprised them there, the Raiders. They go over and they're going to take the lead.
Piggy, how was Josh Curran looking?
It was the right shoulder, it looked like. The trainer, Travis Toomer, he was down with him. It didn't look good, but we're just going to have to wait and see. But I see him going off the field. I think they'll take him off to have a look at that one.
It's remarkable in this day and age, Piggy, how blokes who look really injured stay on the field and play on. Like in my day, it was done. Get me off, champion.
Jamal Fogarty coming in for the conversion. He's right in front of the sticks.
Curran's there. He looks like he's going to play on.
Oh, yes. There's no trains coming past there on the Bankstown line at the moment, so no chance of heading a train, and Fogarty straight between the sticks. Got a pretty good strike rate with the boot, Jamal. And he takes the Raiders to a 6-4 lead over the Bulldogs here at the Belmore Sports Ground. You're listening to the Continuous Call team.
Yeah, it just looks like the Dogs look to be heavily on top here, but that's a bit of a surprise. That's a bit of a surprise that the Raiders have got down there, and the surprise is how easily he scored then, Trey Mooney. Like, he's a big boy, but if you're going to stop a big boy like that, you have to hit him around the chest. You've got to try and get wrap the ball up, and maybe even if you have to, take the tackle, take him over the line and sort of caress him, and keep him up over the try line there and make sure he doesn't get the ball down. But that wasn't what happened there. It's a bit of a surprise for a defensive side like the Bulldogs to let such an easy one in there.
So in possession of the ball, Adam Cook, who's replaced Ethan Strange in the starting lineup.
You know what his nickname is? Do you know?
No.
Cookie.
I should have seen that.
No, it's just one for you there. You can use something like that, Darren, if you like, in the racing one day.
Right.
What do you think, Pig?
Yeah, I loved it, Big Man.
Thank you.
Sebastian Chris playing the ball now. Starling across to Morgan Smithies. And
it's his nickname.
Tim Clark's right. He's at Clarky. Tim Clark.
No, there's a knock on from them here. Trey Mooney, his nickname's Moons. Anyway, we don't know that, but I'm just making this stuff up. But there's a knock on from the Raiders. So here's the Bulldogs once again in a pretty good field position here. They need to take advantage of it.
Unders plays on good terms with themselves right now. We're 23 minutes in.
Darren, you haven't taken the Unders, have you? I'm just interested. You seem to be pushing it. Heavily here. How much time we had here? There's 24 minutes gone in the first half, and as you said, it's 6-4 to the Raiders. Here's the Dogs. Do one of these, Darren. You ready? Here come the Dogs.
Burton on a run there. Burton about to play the ball, and Crichton going into dummy half. They're 30 out from the Raiders line on the first tackle. And now in possession of the ball, Harry Hayes. Harry Hayes
what
has
a
stepped
name.
in.
I mean, what a name. Harry Hayes.
This is only his third game.
I don't know. Is he a forward? He's obviously a forward. He's a big enough boy. Harry Hayes, what a name.
He's played the last 2 weeks for the Bulldogs. Now Sexton on a run across to Burton. Short pass there to Crichton, and Crichton's wrapped up about 12 metres out, just on the grandstand side of the ground. Now Sexton put a little grubber kick in there, and it was played at by the Raiders. And he's going to ping them for it. So the Bulldogs cop a penalty here, pretty much in front of the sticks.
What do they do, Big Man?
I think they take the tap. I mean, this day and age, not many sides take the 2 in this situation. And when you're, 10 metres out right in front, I think they'll take the tap.
25.
They've given it to Burton. They are taking the 2. Surprised me.
Righto. Well, we're 25 minutes in. And Burton will now have the opportunity, throw this penalty goal to level the scores.
Well, geez, if he missed this, he'd be disappointed. The Pig, did you ever miss one from in front, Pig?
I can't remember, Big Man.
You wouldn't.
You don't want to remember anyway.
One thing about this game too, there's virtually no wind. No wind to speak of. I think about 5 k's.
It's nice because it's been very windy lately the last couple of weeks.
What?
Wow. He should have been at my place.
Yeah, I was going to say. Inside.
Little Big Harley, wow. He's a windy
the
guy.
roof off your little barley hut.
Well, have you been to my barley hut?
I've had a view of it from a
vision.
distance, yeah, from
I'll give
about
you
25 metres
I'll
away.
take a photo and send it to you. I'm actually going to send Phil Friss's number too.
Yeah.
So Burton about to add the extra 2 points here at the Belmore Sports Ground. Does it successfully, and the ball's pretty much gone out of the park.
You know what I find strange at Belmore?
Yes.
Down the train line end, they've got the rope
net.
up, the net up to stop the ball from going over the fence onto the train line. But up the other end where there's houses and stuff, there's no net. So must be just catch and keep.
They only kick at the one end at training. They only practice at one end.
Why wouldn't there
But
be
you
a
know
net
what,
up
Big
the
Man?
other
You know
end?
what I was going to say about the southern end?
What?
Why'd they cut the tree down? Didn't there used to be a big tree at the southern end of
And I
Belmore
remember
Sports
sitting there
Ground?
under a tin shed as well. They've removed the roof.
They used to have the roof on it as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's because if it rains, they want the people to get wet.
It's probably that old. They've taken it down for safety
Probably rusty.
reasons.
We're 27 minutes in the second half, and the Bulldogs running it out of their own territory on the second tackle now, and the scores are level here, 6-all. And the Bulldogs via Kurt Mann and now Harry Hayes. Harry Hayes having his third game from the Bulldogs, runs it up in the third tackle. Marnie into dummy half. Now the Bulldogs spreading it out to the grandstand side. Connor Tracy goes for a run in his own and is brought down 40 metres on the 40-metre line. There is Crichton goes to dummy half to Sexton. A long pass over to Marnie. Now to Mann. Now to Burton, and Bronson Sherry in possession of the ball. He's run around the back of one of his own players, but play on. And now he's been brought down on the the fifth tackle now, and we're a few metres short of the halfway line. Sexton will kick downfield, well downfield, but it's taken taken by Wicks. I was going to say on the full, a slight fumble, but well under control.
He took it beautifully, and then as he's about to run, he fumbled it and he regained it. Fortunately for the Raiders, it would have been embarrassing for him here. They're right in the game, the Raiders. I still think the Dogs are looking the better side here, but it's 6-all. Clearly, there's nothing between these two sides. You have to be a genius to work that out.
Papali's been off the field for a bit, but it looks as though he's about to return.
Yeah. It's a strange one, isn't it? Because he's only been off for probably 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, they don't normally do that, do they? They give him a fair bit of a breather and then bring him on at the back end, but they've brought him back on pretty quickly.
Speak of the man, there he is, getting a first touch of the ball and has brought down 45 out from the Bulldogs line. A loose pass has gone across and picked up there by the Raiders, but it got a little bit sloppy there. Elliot Whitehouse plays the ball, and now they're on the last tackle. They've gone to the air, but they haven't really made any ground, and it's gone pretty close to the touchline, and it's bounced backwards and now gone over touch.
How awful. What an awful couple of plays there from the Raiders.
Well, most of their half has been like that, Piggy. They don't look disorganised, but they just can't find anyone who's got any real
So what do
attacking
they go about 5 metres
There's no
forward?
rhythm to their play. There's no, it's not like it doesn't look like they're all on the same page with their attack at the moment, the Raiders.
I've got an injury report here for Heat. And there's breaking news. Josh Curran's being assessed for a shoulder injury. Thank you, Scoop.
Well, the Bulldogs fans will be hoping he can make his way back in. Now the Bulldogs in possession, 33 out. Third tackle, Sexton. Well, Crichton's dropped the ball
This
there.
is all. They're awful too.
Yeah.
Are they going to get a penalty here for a late? No, a lip.
Oh.
Sorry, I thought they might have got a penalty for a late shot on Reid Marnie, who's not happy.
Just too much talk.
Well, I think Marnie's probably given the referee a gobful for not picking up someone hitting him with a late tackle. It might well be his opposite number, Tom Starling. I'd like to see the replay of that. Now, let's have a look at this. Marnie's got it. He offloads. Oh, come on. Reid, please. I mean, you're playing rugby league. He bumped into him. There certainly was no malice in it or any effort in it. You with me there, Peg?
Yep, and then he's given away a penalty that's given the opposition good field position.
So the Raiders back in possession. First tackle, Sebastian Chris taken down, 40 out from the line. 6-all here at the Belmore Sports Ground, and we've got 10 minutes to go in the first half. Now Trey Mooney, the only try scorer for the Raiders in possession, and in a very strong tackle is pushed back several metres at this point. So we're on tackle 2. And the Raiders trying to push forward. Papali's only been back on the ground for a few minutes. Has already had a few touches of the ball.
6 again, Darren.
Righto, so tackle reset there. Hudson Young on a run and is brought down about 20 out, 30 out from the line. Now they go to the right side, and Smithies is quickly wrapped up by 3 defenders. 3 tackles down now, and Fogarty
shot. Kick out right under Trey Mooney's legs, just cut him down.
Smithies on a run. Smithies gains a couple of valuable metres on what is the last tackle now. 6-all here at Belmore. Last tackle for the Raiders. They're going to run it at the moment, and it's a cross kick across field, but Crichton was all over that, although they're trying to push him back, but he's made his way about a metre into play, so the Bulldogs back in possession. Jacob Carraz going for a run.
Just going to give you a tip. Next time you say Crichton was all over that, could you say he was all over that like calamine lotion?
Okay.
Come on.
Not like a cheap Hong Kong suit.
No, you can do that, but that wouldn't be unique.
Right.
Not like calamine lotion. Hardly anyone's ever said that.
8 minutes to go here in the first half. Bulldogs going for a run. And a penalty. Curtis Moran on the field there now. But a penalty against the Raiders. Well applauded on the Belmore Hill.
Things will happen here. Now, my man's out there. I love this young bloke, Bailey Haywood. I like the way he plays. He's got a bit of ball play. We spoke to Cameron Sorreldo, I think it was last week, didn't we?
Yep.
I think he was a halfback leading into, or a 5'8" or something. And he sort of slotted him into lock, hooker, wherever you want to play him. And he's got a bit of ball playing skill. I like this kid.
Yeah, he said he just came of age when they put him into that lock position, that sort of small middle forward, and he's done a great job for him. He's done a really good job for a young bloke.
Well, they've got the Curtis Moran's out there as well, so he's made a couple of changes here.
Yeah, 3 changes there. So Moran played that ball, and the Bulldogs running it well inside the halfway mark now, being played here by Harry Hayes. Bailey Haywood now to Jacob Preston, and Preston's brought down about 30 out. 7 minutes to go, 30 out from the line, 3 tackles down. The Bulldogs run it to the hillside with Burton a short pass to Bronson Sherry, who's just been wrapped up, but it was a strong run there by Sherry, and he's taken it right down to the 10. Now the Bulldogs playing it across field to Curtis Moran, who's Moran's wrapped up only a few metres shy of the line there, right in front of the sticks. Now they've gone to the other side. Burton, a long pass to Connor Tracy, who tries to step back inside, but has been wrapped up there on the final tackle. So that's the end of the play for the Bulldogs.
They just seem to be running out a bit of room on the outside. The Dogs are crabbing across field a little bit. I think a little bit more than what the coach would like here. And I think that on that occasion came from the 5'8" Matt Burton. He got the ball then, Connor Tracy. It just, to me, looked like they were crabbing across field. He's got to be a penalty to the Raiders here. I mean, Ashley Klein's starting to annoy me with these penalties. Just let him play some footy, Ash. Come on, champion.
It's very stop-start
at the
moment,
Well, it is at the moment. It's very stagnant.
Yeah.
It's 6-all. We've had 34 minutes of play. It hasn't been any great scintillating attack. I mean, both sides have tried to get around the outside of the opposition, but at the moment they can't do it. They're running out of space. Whether it's shrunk the oval or not, I'm not sure, but it's just not wide enough for both these sides at the moment.
So the Raiders back in possession of the ball. Isn't it hard to believe after all these years, this is only the 14th time that the Raiders have played at Belmore?
In their whole career, in their whole lifespan.
Yeah.
That
they
is
joined the comp in 82.
Well, Darren, I just want to point out to you, I did play them in 84 there. Well,
win.
Well, I did look it up on YouTube today. I was quite spectacular. I'm loath to wrap myself, Darren, but if you get a chance, have a look at the Bulldogs v Canberra 84 at Belmore. Bullmore, same thing.
Righto, the Raiders going for a run now on the 4th tackle, and they've gone deep now into a Bulldog territory. So 4 tackles down for the Raiders, and we've got 5 minutes left on the clock. Fogarty goes to the air. It's a high kick. He goes toe-to-toe with Burton for the height of these kicks. Now, Savage has made a run there for the line, but the referee's called this back. Adokar was playing at the kick.
Yeah, Savage knocked it on. I mean, Adokar sort of backed into it a bit. Savage put one arm up, I think trying to tap it back to one of his attacking mates, but it just went forward off him. So the Bulldogs, well, they breathe a sigh of relief. Their defence has been pretty good, but they're after what they dished up last week against the Broncos, I think most Bulldog supporters would be a little bit disappointed in what they're seeing here today because they were dynamite last week.
Yeah, they're going a bit sideways. They're going shift for shift, but at the moment the Raiders are awake to it and they're defending it really well. And as you said, Big Man, when it's getting out to their edges, they're running out of room, the Bulldogs.
Now kick out with the ball. Close to the line and got the pass off there to Sherry. And the run up to the halfway line. The Bulldogs on the fourth tackle now. So Connor Tracy into dummy half. Cross to Burton. Cross to Harry Hayes.
Mate, when Harry Hayes comes up against Harry Highpants, that's going to be amazing.
Burton goes for the deep high kick down. Right under the fullback that couldn't grab it, but Rapina's picked up the ball and Rapina's going for a run. Links up with Savage right over towards the touchline on the hillside, and now the Raiders back in possession. One tackle down. They play the ball. 10 out from the halfway line, running right across field at the moment, the Raiders, and they bring it right up to the halfway mark now. Through the fullback there, Weeks, who plays the ball. Now Fogarty goes for a run on his own, and Fogarty's made a couple of yards there in the process. We're 3 tackles down. Now Starling along to Smithies there, and he's been able to offload the ball, and we're 4 tackles in. Papa Lee called for the ball. They cut him out there. So Hudson Young's in possession now, and he's wrapped up there by 3 Bulldog defenders on the last play. 5 tackles in, 3 minutes to go in the first half. The Raiders go to the stand side, a short kick in the air. Now a few having a play here. The Raiders have been able to pick it up and then lost possession of the ball, and now Connor Tracy has been able to scoop it up, and the Bulldogs are back in possession of the ball.
Well, it's just been a stop-start half of football. There's been very little flowing football. It's been sort of one hit up after another, and when they do spread it, they're running themselves into touch. So I don't know what they do here. I mean, I suppose you just keep persevering. Well, they're starting to spread it inside their own 20. Here's the 5'8" having a run here, and Matt Burton makes a few metres, but I can see the front row, Josh Curran sitting on the bench, which that's a Ram Trucks tough tackle. Hudson Young has just levelled that young bloke I was talking about before, Bailey Hayward. Levelled him.
Yeah, you can see Bailey looks a little bit dazed, but he's up business as usual, and the Bulldogs are playing the last play of the set here. So Burton goes for a more shallow but a very, very deep kick down, which has gone over the 10-metre line. And now Xavier Savage is running it back up centre field and is dragged back by some determined Bulldogs defence there. 2 minutes to go in the first half. 6-all here at the Belmore Sports Ground, and Matthew Timoko goes for a run at his own. And Timoko's brought down, plays the ball, second tackle. Rapana going for a run down the middle, and he's been able to make up about another 8 or 9 metres, so he's at the 40-metre line now. 90 seconds to go in the first half, still 6-all, and the Raiders now bring it to the halfway mark. There's been a try by Stephen Crichton for the Bulldogs and Trey Mooney for the Raiders. Will we get another one in before full time? Morgan Smithies goes for a run, takes it down to about the 42-metre mark, and we're on the 5th and last tackle now. So Fogarty, he's gone for a field goal attempt.
2-pointer, he's gone right though, he's missed it. I think he had the length, but it's just gone to the right of the upright, and the Bulldogs will get the last say here. They'll get a 20-metre tap, and there's only 50 seconds to go in the half. I mean, based on what we've seen in the first 39 and a half minutes, I don't think they've tried to kick straight out. This is a brilliant bit of play and found touch.
Yep.
So they'll get the scrum feed here, the Dogs. They might themselves have a crack at a 2-pointer themselves here, because that has gone out 40 metres out. I would imagine Burton would be ready to have a crack here with 30 seconds to go.
30 seconds on the clock here.
That's a great play from Sexton. That's a great play.
Smart, isn't it?
Yeah,
very smart.
Kicks it down, so he's now 40 out. He's brought the Bulldogs to play the ball. 40 out from the Raiders line with just 20 seconds left on the clock here on the first half.
I don't know if Burton's in any position to try and kick a 2-pointer here. I just thought they'll be up on him pretty quickly here, and they've actually gone the other side. They've kicked ahead.
Crichton
Is Carraz flying?
Carraz is charging through. He's got 3 to beat. And the Raiders have been able to pop it over the dead ball line, and that'll pretty much wrap up the first half here at Belmore. 6-all.
Well, 6-all indicates, doesn't it, Darren, that it's been a pretty tight contest. I think it's fair to say that, but gee whiz, we haven't seen a great deal of attack from either side. Great bit of work there from the hooker to get back there. Tom Starling and tap that ball dead. He did a fantastic job, but 6-all at half-time it is, and both sides I think have got a bit of work to do here in the second half. It's obviously an open, well, anyone could win it, but Just lacked a bit in the first half there, Breeny.
Yeah, well, it's a scrappy old affair for Darren Flindell's first ever half of NRL action. It failed to reach any great heights, did it, Darren?
I was hoping to have a few more tries to score. This is tougher work than I was expecting it to be.
Well, luckily we're making it easier for you, Darren.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're here for you. Let's 3 cheers for Darren. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Oh, don't say anything.
I thought you were doing 3 cheers for yourself, big man.
I just saw Alana on television.
Rightio, Darren, you have a little bit of a breather, and I'll take everyone through the halftime break, and that'll be,
actually,
of course,
it was Danica.
After a couple of notes from our sponsors, I'll be back with the Keno Go halftime report. But before that, let's have an Olympic update.
A Paris 2024 Olympic Games update.
Thanks to Harvey Norman, proud to be Australia's official retail partner. Powered by LG, partner of Nine's Olympic broadcast.
Emily Minnie here with the latest from Paris. The final day of the men's golf individual stroke will get underway shortly. Aussies Minwoo Lee and Jason Day will tee off later tonight. Day is just 5 shots off the lead after firing a 4 under par in the third round. Shayna Jack and Meg Harris will be gunning for gold in the 50-metre freestyle final tomorrow morning. The men's and women's surf semi-finals and finals have been rescheduled due to small waves in Tahiti. A call will be made tomorrow afternoon. The Boomers have checked into the Athletes' Village ahead of their basketball quarter-final against Serbia on Tuesday, and Ariane Titmus has scored a second silver medal in the women's 800-metre freestyle. USA's Katie Ledecky took the gold. To the medal tally, Australia is in 4th with 12 golds, China on top with 16, followed by the United States and France. I'm Emily Minnie with your Olympic update.
That Paris 2024 medal tally was thanks to NRMA Insurance, a help company. On 2GB, another oh what a feeling moment.
Thanks to Toyota.
To the backhand of Rajiv Ram. Tough volley deep. And it's a smash for the winner, is it? Yes! Australia has won the gold medal. Only their second ever gold medal in tennis at the Olympic Games. The Woodies have done it once. Now, Matty Ebden and John Peers.
Stay listening for more oh what a feeling moments. Brought to you by Toyota, Australian Olympic and Paralympic team partner.
On 2GB.
Every team has them. The sports trainers who live to celebrate the big wins in the locker room. They're the men and women who selflessly give their time and work tirelessly to get their players back in the game week in and week out. You'll see them before the game, warming up tight muscles, soothing lingering aches and pains with their tubes of deep heat. And the players, well, they're primed and ready to head out onto the field with the winning feeling of the iconic locker room smell flaring their nostrils. Deep heat. Feel it work. Fast, targeted pain relief from the iconic brand you know and trust. It's available in supermarkets and pharmacies. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. Why not give it a go? Deep heat, you can feel it work. It's fast, targeted pain relief from the iconic brand you know and trust. You can pick some up at supermarkets and pharmacies.
Ducks, hot water, built stronger to last longer.
Made in Australia for over 100 years, award-winning Ducks water heaters are built stronger to last longer. Ducks.com.au.
Ducks.
Proud partner of the Continuous Call team.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. Rush into National Tiles now for our famous spend and save. Spend $500 and we'll only charge you $400. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Or $4,000 and we'll only charge you $2,750. Yes, the more you spend, the more you'll save. But you'll have to be quick. So rush into National Tiles, spend and save now. Conditions apply.
You're listening to the Continuous Call team on 2GB. Thanks to Macca's, Harvey Norman, Ram Trucks, Ducks Hot Water, All.com, Westpac and Coles.
Crichton going for the corner. Yes! Got up. Steve Crichton has gone to the corner and grounded the ball for the first try for the Bulldogs. Weeks is ducking and weaving and gets within 2 metres of the line, so the Raiders starting to show a little bit in this set. Charging to the line, Mooney. Mooney under the post. Carraz is charging through. He's got 3 to beat, and the Raiders have been able to pop it over the dead ball line. That'll pretty much wrap up the first half here at Belmore. 6-all.
Across Australia, this is the Continuous Call team.
Welcome back to the continuous call team's halftime report for Keno Go. Keno Go winners are popping up all over Australia. This week alone, players have taken home more than $4 million. Are you the next big winner? Download the Keno Go app today. Just repeating that earlier score today. Panthers 22 defeated the Knights 14, and at halftime at Belmore, it is 6-all between the Bulldogs and the Raiders. Daryl Bigman Broman, oh, you got to do the highlights. For
mate, there hasn't really been any. To be honest with you, it's a tough game to call, and I feel a bit sorry for Darren. He's copped a bad game to start, because at the moment it's just a bit of a defence-a-thon here. There's no one showing any great flair. I think for the Raiders, the bloke who's looked most likely for me has been Joseph Tarpanay, who made one break in the first half. But other than that, there's been very few breaks. Kicking game of both sides been okay. But the defence of both sides has been excellent. So, I suppose in the modern game, if you defend well, you're not going to allow too many points in. In fact, it probably happens all through the history of rugby league. But at the moment, it's not a great game to watch.
Just something I want to ask you, Peggy. Like 20-something rounds in, it's funny when you see teams put up stuttering performances like this.
Yeah, for both of them as well. Like last week, we saw the Bulldogs play so well.
Unbelievable.
Against the Broncos. They attacked brilliantly. Everything was flowing. They're trying to play a similar way, and we spoke to their coach, Cameron Serraldo, about the way they're playing and how their attack's evolving. But the Raiders are just shutting it all down. They know that the Bulldogs are going to go shift for shift, and the Canberra Raiders are prepared for that. I think sometimes, and Darryl mentioned this in the first half, it looks like they're running out of room when they get to the centre and the winger right on those edges. And sometimes that can be because there's too long a passes from the dummy half to the half, and maybe the first two passes before it gets out there. So I think maybe if they shorten up those passes a little bit off the ruck to their halves, maybe that'll allow them a little bit more space and a little bit more room when Tracy comes around out the back and tries to link with his centre and his winger. But all in all, I'm with you, boys. Like it's been a tough game to watch, been a tough game to call. And with you look at the Raiders' attack, I haven't seen much at all other than them hitting the ball up. That's all we're seeing.
I think you've got to look to the halfbacks to maybe get a bit of a short kicking game involved and just try and get the defence on the back foot a little bit. And I know sometimes there's a risk involved in all of that stuff because you don't want to give away cheap possession to your opponents. But I think we need to see Burton, Sexton, maybe Fogarty, those blokes in particular, just try a little kick behind, a little chip over the top. Obviously just let your teammates know what's going on and just put a bit of pressure on, because at the moment there's hardly been any line breaks. I can hardly remember a line break. The only one was probably the try that Stephen Crichton scored, where he just burst through two tackles and scored. Other than that, there's hardly been a line break.
Yeah, it's been a funny old match. It's been a funny old round, actually. We'll talk about it between 6 and 7 on Wide World of Sports. The extraordinarily high-scoring matches, some low-scoring matches. Funny old round of rugby league, boys. You'll be back to do the second half action very shortly. But I thought I might take you through some rugby league news on this glorious Sunday. The South Sydney Rabbitohs are making headlines in the Daily Telegraph. Now, Latrell Mitchell last weekend, he wasn't required to go down to that Canberra Raiders match, but he drove 3 hours either way himself and went to the game. But this week he's being criticised because he went to a country rodeo rather than the club's match against Cronulla last night, which was played at Shark Park. He appeared at a truck show bull ride in the northern New South Wales town of Casino rather than watching the side at PointsBet Stadium. He went with one of his teammates, Ben Lovett, as well. South's Chief Executive Blake Solly revealed Mitchell had been granted approval to attend that and not to attend the game. Whatever happens, Latrell Mitchell creates massive headlines because he gets hammered on social media. So Blake Solly's come out to defend him. Look, he went to the game last week. He didn't go last night, and he's getting hammered on social media, and anything Latrell Mitchell does becomes a story. Earlier in the show today, I mentioned that John Bateman, we know he was let go from the West Tigers and he's gone to the Warrington Wolves under Sam Burgess for the rest of the season. They suffered a loss to Hull Kingston Rovers on the weekend. And there's some headlines around about comments Bateman made after the match where he said, it's good to be back and it's good to be back at a good club. So what I did was, during the first half, I went and found the interview and I watched it he wasn't really hammering the West Tigers. He was just saying it in general. You know, yeah, it's great to be back in the Super League. Really looking forward to it. You know, our team, blah, blah, blah. It's good to be back at a good club. He was rapping.
Yeah, Warrington.
He wasn't bagging the West Tigers. So if you see some headlines about that, don't worry about it. Now, Jacob Saifiti, he was ruled out of that match today earlier against the Penrith Panthers because he injured a calf in the warm-up, and they said after the match it doesn't look good. He's going to have to have some scans, and he's on crutches, so expect him to be out for a little bit of time. And as far as the Panthers are concerned, Dane Laurie will be back next week after a Category 1 HIA. Let's take a break. Darren Flindell will be back with the boys for all the second half action.
Pain and injury can strike any time. You might be out on a run, slamming a dunk, or chasing a ball. Reduce the risk of pain and injury by warming up your muscles for peak performance with Deep Heat. And when the race is run, cool down with Ice Gel to relieve any sprains or strains. Fast, targeted pain relief from the iconic brand you know and trust since 1956. Deep Heat. Feel it work. Available in supermarkets and pharmacies. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
For 50 years, Snooze has been at the heart of Australian bedrooms. Remember the 2000s and the romance of the Snooze sleigh bed? Snooze, celebrating 50 years in the bedroom.
Amazing what a little snooze can do.
Load up with huge Ram trucking savings at Ram's NY23 stock clearance. Get free Rego and CTP, Truck Year, free stamp duty and dealer delivery, Truck Year, plus free 3 years or 36,000 kilometre servicing, Truck Year. So get behind the wheel of a Hemi V8 or Cummins turbo diesel powered Ram and drive away with truckloads of savings today. Visit ramtrucks.com.au. Truck Year. NY23 new stock vehicles only. T&Cs and exclusions apply.
When you think the Shire, you probably picture beaches, national parks, the roar at Shark Park, and of course, Stapleton's Quality Meats. Stapleton's Quality Meats have been supplying locals and businesses Sydney-wide since 1896 with the very best pasture-fed and free-range meats, poultry, and now ready-eat meal options. Visit their family-owned and run stores in Kareela Village and Southgate, Sylvania, or online at stapletonsqualitymeats.com and use promo code 2GB for 20% off your first order.
Storage King is CanStar Blues 2023 Most Satisfied Customer Award winner. Rated 5 stars in overall satisfaction, quality of storage, accessibility and safety and security. So when you need to declutter, search Storage King for your nearest store.
You're listening to the Continuous Call team. Make it McSmart with the new McSmart meal from Macca's. 2 burgers, small fries and small soft drink for $6.95. T's and C's apply.
Righto, welcome back to the Belmore Sports Ground, and the crowd here being entertained by the Sapphires, the club's official cheer squad, and I've been watching the mascots over there as well. Bella and Brutus.
What are they?
Bella and Brutus.
What about the research here?
Bella and Brutus. Well, man, if you're going to have a bulldog as a mascot, I think Bella and Brutus are good names.
Good name.
Particularly if one's a girl and one's a boy. In this day and age, it could be anything.
Could be either.
Well,
could be both boys.
I'm not sure who's who at the moment.
Imagine if you're a girl and your name's Brutus. You wouldn't be happy with that. Anyway, we digress.
Well, this is a must-win game for the Raiders. If they win, I think they scrape into 8th position. At the moment, I mean, the Bulldogs have gone into this as an odds-on favourite, and most expected that they would win. But this is going down to the wire at the moment.
It's a battle for both these sides. Darren, are the Raiders only 2 points behind the Bulldogs? I'm not sure here. The Bulldogs have sort of, over the last probably 6 or 8 weeks, have gradually built their way up the ladder, and they've done exceptionally well. And they're now, they're certainly not entrenched in the 8, but they're there. But all these fringe games, you know, for sides that are battling for the 8 are just so important. This is a game the Bulldogs should win. They're playing at home. They're against a side that is below them on the ladder. They should be winning this game, and if they don't win it, I think they'll be grossly disappointed.
The Dragons scoring the upset win last night, that sort of changed the dynamic of the 8th position.
Well, mate, it can change from game to game, you know, week to week, game to game, whatever. I mean, if the Dogs can and the same for the Raiders, if they can find a bit of form and win, say, 3 in a row, well, they're going to make the semis, you know. But that's not the nature of the beast in the NRL, unfortunately. I mean, and you look at the Dragons in particular, a great example of that, Darren. They win one, they lose one. They win one, they lose one. I mean, it's been happening all year. but they're still in the 8, and well, they've got all to play for.
Josh Curran went off in the 22nd minute, and we're waiting to see if Josh will rejoin the game. So we're underway here in the second half at Belmore, and Papa Leahy with first touch of the ball.
Is that Harry Highpants gone out there? Jeez, I like his play. You like him,
Mariota.
Harry Mariota. We've nicknamed him Harry Highpants.
Harry Highpants, right. The big Samoan. Yes.
He's a big boy. I don't want to say it to his face.
No. Okay, Papa Leahy in possession of the ball again, runs it a few metres forward on the fourth tackle here. 38 seconds into the first half. Now Starling going on a run on his own, will be brought down. So one last play here for the Raiders in the second half from Belmore. And Fogarty goes to the air, heading towards the middle part of the ground, and it was a kick that was easily taken by Connor Tracy, and Connor Tracy's able to make about 10 yards in the process, 10 metres in the process, and they're on the first play of the ball, about 25 out from their own line. Addo Carr goes for a run on his own and is quickly brought to a halt on the second tackle. Burton into dummy half, over to, bone-jarring tackle there on Kurt Mann, I think. And we're on the third tackle now for the Bulldogs. Now, Addo Carr in possession of the ball again. This is the fourth. 1 minute 23 into the second half, and it's 6-all on the low scoreboard, and we're bang on the halfway mark now. Marnie across to Burton. Now, Burton on this last tackle kicks it very high, and it's taken immediately by Savage over to Weeks, and now Weeks is wrapped up about 12 metres out from his own line on the first tackle.
Well, the Harvey Norman replay just shows that was a reasonable set from the Dogs. Had a lot of their backs in there doing the hard work, but didn't really make a great deal of effect. It was a nice kick from the 5/8 Matt Burton that's found the Raiders trying to work it out of their own territory. They're on the 30-metre line after 3 tackles. So, you know, based on what we've seen in the opening couple of minutes of the second half, I don't see too much changing from what we saw in the first half here.
Rapiner goes to ground on the fourth tackle for the Raiders. Now, Papa Leahy in a strong run on this big day for Josh, celebrating his 300th game in the NRL. Fogarty on the last tackle kicks very high. Boy, his kicks are as high as Burton, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I don't think they've got the distance that Burton's got. I don't think anyone's got the distance that Burton's got. I saw Sexton kick a ball before, went a long way as well. He's got a decent boot on him for a little fella.
Good thing we're not in a flight path here. No. Those kicks would terrify pilots.
Yeah, well, mate, imagine sitting up there and seeing footballs hit your windscreen.
Burton goes for a run at his own, brings it up to the half.
Yeah, it's a windscreen.
It's called a windscreen. Well, you don't have any wipers on it or anything, do you?
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
For the rain.
Bronson Sherry takes the ball now into enemy territory on the fourth tackle. Now Hayward goes for a run to Sexton. Back inside to Prestons, who's wrapped up here on the fifth tackle for the Bulldogs, and they're 30 metres out from the Raiders' line. So they go to the air. Toby Sexton towards the hillside. And Rapin has been able to take the ball without incident there, and the Raiders are back in possession.
I seriously don't understand that kick. The kick's fine, and the chase was fine, but they just let Rapin take it. Surely someone has a crack at it, or tries to tap it back, or tries to bash Rapin as soon as he catches it. But on that occasion, the ball went in the air. They meekly just stood and watched him catch it, and then tackled him. Come on.
It's a 6-all thriller here at Belmore at the moment. 3.5, nearly 4 minutes into the second half, and Starling goes for a run on his own from dummy half. Now Fogarty about to come into dummy half for the last play here for the Raiders, and Cookie.
It's a good kick.
Puts a nice deep kick down. And Connor Tracy picks it up just shy of his own line there and runs it out a good 20 metres in the process. So Connor Tracy's wrapped up on the first tackle here for the Bulldogs. Toby Sexton into dummy half. Addo Carr is the first receiver, and Addo Carr taken to ground. At his comeback game today, Josh has been off the scene for quite some time with that hamstring injury. Now Bronson Sherry goes for a run at his own, and a strong run as well. Brings it up to the 40. Kick out.
Now that's better. That's the best 2 runs that they've done. There's a run here from the hooker now. They're nearly up to the 30. This is better from the Dogs. Tackle 4.
35 out now. Hayward Hayward looking to pass, does so to Sexton. A cut-out pass to Tracy. Tracy looking for support on the outside. Gets it with Carraz. Carraz is running back in field. He's looking to offload Carraz and a long sweeping pass. And now the ball is still on the move. Jacob Preston goes for a run on his own. And Jacob Preston within metres of the try line. So the Bulldogs starting to spark up to the hillside. A kick through from Crichton. Can Crichton grounds it?
That's what we're looking for, Darren. Brilliant work there from Crichton. You know what? There was nothing doing there. They were short on the blind side there, the Canberra Raiders. The ball went to the blind, but I think the cutout pass basically negated the overlap that they had. And in the end, it was Crichton. Just pure brilliance on his own there. He's put a little left foot kick there. This is what I'm talking about here. I think the pass needed to go through the hands. But in the end, Crichton just put the kick in, and I've got to say, it was a bit of laziness there from a number of the Raiders players there. There was no one really turned and chased there. If the kick was spot on, he was going to score. And in the end, the kick was spot on. Brilliant work from Crichton. What a player he is.
Oh, it's just a bit of individual brilliance, isn't it, really? As you said, Big Man, he gets cornered here, nothing doing. KO Weeks, the fullback, he had to put himself into the line, so he wasn't out the back. Crichton obviously realised that. There was no one home, and deft little kick in behind the line. Beats everyone to the football, gets it down. He's now got 2 tries for the afternoon, and both times he's just done it on his own. Well done, Stephen Crichton.
6 minutes into the second half on the all.com clock, and the low scoreboard 10-6 in favour of the Bulldogs. Kick to come here from Burton, near enough to the touchline.
How good's alcohol? Look at that young chick in the background having a bourbon and Coke.
And it's line ball here. It's hit the left post and has been waved away by the touch judges.
I wouldn't mind seeing that again. I thought the ball ended up bouncing in the in-goal area after it hit the post, which would have indicated to me it went through, but obviously it didn't. They were right there. But
so no goal. You're listening to the continuous call team.
Make it McSmart with the new McSmart meal from Macca's. 2 burgers, small fries and small soft drink for $6.95. T's and C's apply.
I really thought when it hit the post there,
I thought it might have gone in. I actually thought it did go. It bounced in the in-goal area, which would indicate to me that it went through the post, but clearly it didn't. There's no blow up from anyone there. That's better from the Dogs. I mean, the first couple of minutes of the second half were a bit mundane, but that's a little bit better. Here's a big run, but he gets absolutely level by Big Papa. What a shot that was. A Ram Truck's tough tackle. It's getting a few in here now. This might liven up a little bit this second half, and I hope it does.
So Carraz plays the ball, Marnie into dummy half, and the Bulldogs go for another strong run here via Curtis Moran in number 16. Now Marnie to Kickow. Kickow goes on his own, brings it up to the 40. Now the 45 lead line, so they're getting close to the half. Played there by Kickow. Across to Tracy, and Tracy will go to ground here under 2 defenders, and they've gone just inside the halfway mark now. Meaney goes to the hillside. Sexton goes for the boot on the 5th and last tackle. It's a high kick right down the throat there of Savage. He takes it without incident and brings it up 15 metres out from his own goal line.
Yeah, he took it well. I mean, there was a flying chase there from the winger, Josh Addo-Carr. He actually missed him, but when he put the brakes on to try and step somebody, Addo-Carr recircled around basically and got hold of him here. So defensively, this has been a reasonable start to the set here from the Dogs. 3 or 4 of them maintaining defence on every player taking it up. Whitehead's off.
Yeah, Elliot Whitehead just leaving the field. The Raiders on their 3rd place. Sebastian Crisp with the runner. And he's brought down by Kickow there. So we've got Starling into dummy half. Now hold it. Penalty to the Raiders.
He's saying he's kicked at it in the play the ball. Is that what he's saying? They're going to challenge it.
Protest?
Protest,
Belmore.
Mate, this could be upheld.
From the Bulldogs disputing the decision that Viliami ruck interference with the foot.
Got a ruck interference with the foot there.
Viliami Kickow is taking position at marker and retreating to vacate the space of the play.
He did nothing wrong.
Chris places the ball on his foot. The challenge is successful.
Protest upheld, but they probably don't really get any great result from it because they get to keep the ball, I should imagine, the Raiders, and just play the ball. No, they're saying
that's a knock on. That'll be a knock on.
Really?
Well, he's put the ball on his foot, so he's knocked the ball on. It's a Bulldogs feed here.
Well, he's saying you do. Okay, all right.
You know what I mean? Like he's saying he deliberately put it on Kickow's foot when Kickow was just retreating back out of the ruck, so it's deemed a knock on.
On the all.com clock, we're 8 minutes into the second half. 8 minutes in, Bulldogs 10, Raiders 6 on the low scoreboard, and Bulldogs in possession, and Connor Tracy goes for runner on the first tackle. So the Bulldogs in possession, they lead by 4. Marnie back inside to Moran, and Moran's now wrapped up by 3 defenders, about 35 out from the line. Now 25. Hayward to Sexton, back inside to Kickow, and Kickow's upended and brought down to the ground right in front of the sticks, about 15 out. They go to the hillside. Burton, short pass to Crichton, and they're all over Crichton.
Like calamine lotion. Come on, Darren.
Like a cheap suit.
Like a cheap suit from Kowloon, Hong Kong. Now Hayward's got the ball to Sexton. Sexton with a cutout pass to Bronson Sherry. Sherry's trying to get closer to the line, but he's brought down about 3 or 4 metres shy. Kickow into dummy half. Across to Sexton. A cross kick coming up here. And on the scene, there is the winger. Jordan Rapana has been able to save the day for the Raiders.
Yeah, he did it the tough way there, Jordan Rapana. He threw through the air, grabbed it, dropped it, landed in his lap, so he maintained possession there. Did a great job. You know what I'm thinking? I'm just wondering whether we need to get Rapana, or the Raiders need to get Rapana more in the play a little bit. Here he is having another run. When he plays fullback, for mine, he's in the play all the time. He's like an Energizer bunny, but on the wing, he's a little bit restricted, I reckon.
Certainly the senior member of the team as well.
He's a super player. He's a super player and has been for a decade.
34 years of age now, Jordan. And the Raiders kick down into Bulldog territory, and Connor Tracy's running it out now to the 40-metre line. They haven't got him yet. Connor Tracy's on a good run here, but now he runs into 3 defenders and is brought down 10 short of the halfway line. 10 minutes into the second half for all.com. Now Bronson Sherry goes on his own just short of the halfway line, so we're 2 tackles down. And the Bulldogs in possession. Burton goes into dummy half across to Marnie. Short pass there to Moran, and now Harry Hayes with a run. Harry having just his 3rd game for the Bulldogs.
Go Harry.
Up you go, Harry. Now Reid Marnie slowly running across field, was looking for some support there and couldn't find it, so he's gone to ground. Tackle for Sexton, through to
Big Harry.
Harry again. A rather unique haircut. Now Toby Sexton's gone to the air here on the last. It goes into the in-goal area, wrapped up by the Raiders fullback Weeks, who's going to run it right out to the 20.
Well, that's a shocking kick. I mean, he's a first-grade player, Toby Sexton, but you can't be kicking that poorly. Here's Josh Curran's going to come back out there. Look, if you want to send Darren a text, and there's a million of them here, looks like a knock-on here from the Raiders. But 0460873873. And Darren, this is an example of one of the ones we're getting here today. No, I won't read that one.
Be careful, big man.
He said, "Good afternoon, gents. Fantastic call. I love the teamwork and the way you support and look after each other. Well done, Steve from Singleton." Now, there is another one. I'll read this one. Enjoying Darren's call. Sounds a bit like Bob Carr. Do you get that before?
Bob Carr?
From Rick.
No.
Yeah. Another one. Here's one from Matt.
Corky.
Well, it says Corky here and Matt. I don't know who's who. Is he the same bloke? Is Darren allowed to say, "Don't touch the sets, don't touch the dial, don't you go anywhere"? Of course you can say that.
Don't touch my microphone.
Yeah, that's
Righto,
not
the Bulldogs playing it now. And on a run at Carr, short pass to Carr. The Fox pins the ears back, and in his comeback game, over the Fox goes Josh Addo-Carr, sending the Bulldogs to a lead of 14-6.
Well, the Harvey Norman replay just shows that's a beautiful bit of work. He's been waiting for an opportunity at O'Carr, and he hasn't had any in this game. He's had to do some of the dirty work, but on this occasion, I think it was from a scrum, wasn't it? I must admit I wasn't watching a lot of it because I was reading these wonderful texts about you. They decide to go what I would classify the blind side here. Goes to Bronson Cherry. It's a poor bit of defence from the winger, Xavier Savage there. He comes in on Cherry, leaves a bit of an opening there, and you don't need to give Josh Addo-Carr too much room to move in. He comes into Cherry, Addo-Carr just runs the line, and he just powers away. Jeez, he's a sight when he's in full motion, isn't he?
This
Josh
is
Addo-Carr.
up now.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
It's exactly what Sherry wanted to happen there. He got the early ball and just skipped to the outside. And as you said, big man, that just puts the doubt in Savage's mind there. Do I come in and help or do I stay out? There was no need for him to come in, but Sherry just skips to the outside at Timoko, commits the defender on the outside, puts Addo-Carr away, and at Okari, wins the race to the line and goes over for the Bulldogs.
Well, the McDelivery try assist for Maccas obviously goes to Bronch and Sherry. Now, I don't know if you've had one of these, Darren, but make it a McSmart with a new McSmart meal from Maccas. I've had, well, I must admit several. 2 burgers, small fries, small soft drink, $6.95. Hello. T's and C's apply.
Burton coming in for the conversion and a straight between the sticks, and now the Bulldogs go 10 in front.
How's that unders looking, Darren? You a bit worried now? Well, you've had something on the unders.
They're only 22. It's got a long way to go.
But I know a lot of people do, because you always get such much better value in your same game multi when you go unders.
Yeah, well, that's true. I hate going unders.
Day
sort
game.
of death riding a good game. Look,
yeah, exactly.
Josh Adokar returns from a hamstring for this game. First game since round 13 against the Knights. Now, it's saying he's only scored in 3 of his 9 games this year, so make that 4. A hat-trick against the Storm in round 6, and in both games against the Knights, 1 in round 7 and a double in round 13. Well, they add another one to the list there, and there might be more to come here.
Righto, the Bulldogs back in possession 53 minutes into the game. 13, almost 14 minutes now into this second half for the all.com clock, and Bulldogs running it through with Jacob Carraz, the star winger, King Carraz, and he's wrapped up here on the second.
Is there a horse named King Carraz? I think there should be. I like it.
Not in Sydney.
Okay. Is there one elsewhere, do you know?
Well, the 2-year-olds will be getting named soon.
Yeah,
so
yeah, King Carraz.
It's an opportunity for someone out there.
I agree.
KK, King Carraz. Okay, brought to ground there, Bailey Hayward. Marnie over to Burton, and a nice little pass inside. And once again, Marnie's back in possession. Went through a few sets of hands, and Marnie's run it down to the 30-metre line. The Bulldogs have got a real spring in their step now in front of the home crowd.
Alarm bells should be starting to ring here for the Raiders, because the Dogs are starting to get into their rhythm, and that's not good for the Raiders.
Sexton's gone to air, and it's taken by the fullback, Weeks, quite safely there. So Canberra get a bit of a reprieve there, because the pressure was starting to mount. Xavier Savage has gone for a run, and he's brought down Jamal Fogarty into dummy half, and they get the ball moving to Rapana now, who's taken pretty softly there on the 3rd tackle. So the Raiders well inside their own territory, and now Timiko's quickly brought down, so they haven't made too much yardage here, and they're 4 tackles down. Now Hudson Young goes for a run, but he's quickly wrapped up on the 5th and last. Approaching the halfway mark now, and Jamal Fogarty goes to the air, and once again it's a long, deep kick which goes down to the 10-metre line and is wrapped up there by the Bulldogs with Jacob Carraz. Once and again possession of the ball, a flick pass out the back to Stephen Crichton, who beat 1, beat 2, but not Sebastian Chris. And now Crichton is pulled down, 22 out from his own line. So the Bulldogs continue the pressure. Once again, King Carraz in possession.
Yeah, they're starting to punch holes in them all over the paddock here, the Dogs. They spread it out wide. They've got no... I reckon the wing is right on the halfway between the 2 sidelines here for the Canberra Raiders. I think they should spread it here, the Dogs.
They're 3 tackles in, and good news for Bulldogs fans. Josh Curran's been back on the ground for a few minutes. There was a loose pass there behind Adokar, so the Bulldogs have wrecked their chance for further ground, and but the play's been tipped over the touchline, and a little bit of a brouhaha going on.
Or a contretemps. You're back in it, Darren. Good work, Darren. You're using good words now.
Josh Curran was involved.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do here, because I think the pass from the Bulldogs went backwards. I don't think there was any knock-on from the Dogs. And in the end, it was picked up by one of the Raiders players, and he was sort of thrown over the line. You wouldn't believe it's in the middle of it.
Head in there,
Reed Marnie, he is such a pest.
He's an agitator.
Mate, if they had a Dally M for Pest of the Year, he would win it by a million miles.
Who's the 3rd man that comes in here? Someone comes flying
Burton
from the Raiders and takes Burton out, or
so it was Curran and Savage to start with, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, someone, I don't see it on those replays. Hard to tell. See what they're going to do here.
You're not going to dress him. Separate.
Separate.
24 minutes to go in the second half on the all.com clock. And for low scoreboard, Bulldogs 16, Raiders 6.
Fogarty saying he's the 4th man in, sir. Well, he was 2nd and 3rd.
So the officials just dealing with this little
mate, at the end of the day,
melee.
they're just having a guess.
Let's pack the scrum.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. Stephen Crichton, we get the captains out here. Let's have a chat.
Yeah, look, basically, both the players are as bad as each other there. We're just going to have a scrum there. We just can't have players running in and having that, okay? That's your one opportunity. Speak to you guys.
Fair enough.
Scrum.
Going to do the scrum.
I would imagine. I imagine it's a Bulldogs feed. I'm not sure here.
No, it'll be because they won't have played the advantage, will they?
Did they drop? They didn't knock it on though. The Dogs, did they?
I don't know.
Anyway, Jordan Rapina's on the. He's in the bad books because he's put him on report for a trip. What a crowd! 18,110 reminds me of the days I was there.
Well, actually,
remember those days, Darren?
But back in your year, I think it would have been high 20s, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we can say that, but I'm not convinced they were.
I think you're right, big man, on the play. I don't think the Bulldogs knocked it on.
Let's see what happens here. See, Xavier Savage, I think. No, they've got the ball here, the Raiders. Xavier Savage, I think, grabbed the hair there of Josh Curran. In saying that, there's a lot to grab. So, he's got the longest hair in rugby league, Xavier Savage. I think he can add the NRLW as well.
6 again for the Raiders here, and they're in Bulldogs territory now. 40 out from the line. Raiders down on the second tackle now. So Starling. Short pass there to Zach Hosking. Hosking plays the ball. Now Starling to the left. Now in the hands of Morgan Smithies. And Smithies is wrapped up by 2 or 3 defenders there from the Bulldogs. So they're 25 out. And they put a kick in the air towards the line, but it's been wrapped up by Jacob Carraz. So a reprieve there for the Bulldogs. Crichton runs it out from his own line.
Dropped it.
They lost possession of the ball.
Well, there's a few more texts here. 0460873873. Big man needs to be shut up. Let Darren talk. Sorry about that, champion. Big man, stop trying to get Darren into trouble from Carmen.
Yeah, you would.
I'm on the line.
Making him drift away from the game there.
Big man, do you reckon Bolts is having a sneaky listen to Darren? It's been terrific. Thank you, Matt. Oh, mate, this is a big one. Like Tiger Black. And Frank, all the best. Well done, Darren. Oh, they're big boots to.
Look at this setup.
What the hell?
What's going on?
Well, how do you describe this?
Sneaky.
Right.
And they're offside. Well, just to describe it, they packed the scrum. There was about 7 or 8, or probably 7 Raiders players directly behind the scrum. They packed the scrum, and in the end, it was a lock forward, picked it up and just tried to burrow his way through the Bulldogs pack. But they got penalised for being offside here, so they'll take the tap here and have another crack here. The hooker, Tom Starling, he's been pretty good today.
22 to go in the second half. And the Raiders with Murrieta takes it only metres short of the line. Tapani held the ball himself and has been brought to ground. So the Raiders are on the second tackle, getting close to the line. 3 tackles down, and Morgan Smithies was the one taken down. Now Starling into dummy half, looks to the left, goes to the left. And Tapani's been brought down a metre from the line. So now they've changed direction here. Changed direction, charging through Matthew Timoko, off the grubber kick and grounds the ball for a Canberra try. They're back.
It's a beautiful try and a great kick there from the halfback. Wasn't it Jamal Fogarty there? So the replay here for Harvey Norman just shows the Bulldogs just got off their line a little bit too quickly here, and Jamal Fogarty saw it and just, placed a beautifully weighted kick there. You had Timoko just waiting for it out wide. They knew it was on. Timoko he ran around the outside of Bronson Cherry and just gapped him. Basically, the ball sat up beautifully for him. It was a great kick. He grabbed it and slams it down about 1.5 metres inside the dead ball line. They're back in the game here, the Raiders. It's really come from nothing. You know, they haven't done anything great, but just a great bit of work there from the halfback has resulted in Timoko getting a try there. And I've got to say, he's been in a try-scoring drought. You know, he hasn't scored one in the last 5 games because I haven't had something on him.
I was going to say, is that how you see it now?
Yeah,
the last 5 games, if they've had a try or not?
Well, that's only his 4th try. He has played 18 games. For a centre, it's not a great conversion rate, but he's got one today, so well done to him.
He's been with the Raiders for a number of years now. So as you mentioned, 4 tries this season and 24 career tries in total there for Timoko. A beautifully weighted kick through there by Fogarty, which has allowed Timoko to pick up the 4 points. So it's 16-10, conversion to come here from Fogarty.
A bit dark up there. We might get a little storm tonight, boys. What are you thinking? I'm good at weather as well, Darren.
Well, there's no wind anyhow. The conversion's there, sweet as a nut. So the Raiders are back in play here. back in play.
There's no doubt they're back in play here. They're right back in play. 16 points to 12 in a game that really, wouldn't say it's ebbed and flowed, but it's been lacking points. But the second half, it's been a try-scoring fest, hasn't it? Or feast, or whatever.
Feast, fest,
There's been a lot of them.
Harvey Norman, Women in League round, celebrates the women playing crucial roles at every level of rugby league in the community, from executives to head coaches and on-field talent, inspiring the next generation of our fields and screens each week. We believe every young girl should know that there's a role for them in rugby league. For more information, visit nrl.com, Women in League. Righto, 20 to go in the second half here at Belmore.
Got another text here from Tommy. He's done his research, Tommy. Tom is our research expert, Darren. He said the game at Belmore in 1984, the big man played in,
yes,
the Dogs won 36-0. I did play well, you're right there, Tom. And the crowd was 7,166.
Oh.
And we won the comp that year. Where the hell were they all?
Can he send us in a copy of the big league from that game?
I'm sure he could. He's probably got it there, Tommy.
Were you on the try scorers list, big man?
No, I was on the try assists. Hello, round the corner balls, the whole lot. It was just a feast.
Since the conversion, the Raiders have been running it. They're on the last tackle now, 40 out.
Sorry, I forgot I was talking about myself.
And Fogarty went to air and some scrappy play there, and the referee's called a halt to it.
Called a Canberra first knock on here. They're a bit lucky there. I thought the fullback, Connor Tracy, might have got first fingers tips to that, but they're saying that Xavier Savage might have here. They invariably get this right. I'm not convinced they got that one right. I thought it might have come off Tracy.
Okay, the Bulldogs in possession. Addo Carr goes for a run here on the first tackle for the Bulldogs. 18 minutes to go. Bulldogs 4 in front. 4 in front with 18 minutes to go. Carraz plays it to Marnie, to Jacob Preston. Strong run.
He's a good player, isn't he, Preston? He's really developed into a really quality back row for the Dogs.
Burton on the run towards the stand side. Bronson Cherry's found a gap. He's gone through 2, 3. He looks to pass back inside to Tracy. Oh, I reckon if he did, he might have scored, Tracy.
Well, Tracy looked like he was ready to go, but I think he was worried there was a Canberra Raiders player in between both of them there.
A long pass has gone out to the right wing, and Carraz has got it. So they're
Six
just lost
again.
a bit of momentum there. 6 to go. Okay, the Bulldogs are still in play here. 6 to go. Josh Curran goes for a run. And he's brought down 15 metres short of the line. Curran's about to get up and play the ball. Starling gets off him now. Marnie across to Hayward. Sexton. Kick out. With that high knee action. Oh, he's dropped the ball. He was going to score. He's dropped the ball.
No doubt he was going to score. The fullback put his body on the line there, KO Weeks. The Harvey Norman replay shows that he absolutely stopped. He was rampaging through the players there. Whatever you look at here.
He's had plenty of high knee action about him there, Kickhouse, that have just trying to put Weeks off his game a bit.
They do have a challenge. They're disputing the decision of the lost ball. They believe it's a stripped. Now, I don't blow the whistle till the ball's grounded. So if it is...
So if they win this challenge, the Bulldogs, it'll probably be a try.
It'll be a try, yeah, because he puts it down.
Leo Weeks is attempting to tackle and wrap the ball, and Billy Army Kickout loses possession and travels
loses
the
it.
opposition.
Yeah.
Dead ball.
I'll tell you what, it's a great effort there from Weeks. It's kept him in the game, because I think if he scores there, they kick the goal, no doubt about that. That puts them in a really good position with about 17 minutes to go in this game. At the moment, it's the Bulldogs 16 leading the Raiders 12, but that tackle there, well, it saves the game and keeps them in the game here for the Raiders. They probably should have scored in that set there. Yeah, I think I understand why he didn't pass there, Bronson Cherry, because I think the player on the inside was Connor Tracy. I think he was covered by a Raiders player there.
Yeah, Timoko did a really good job, big man, just to get in between the two of them so he couldn't find a pass.
So Canberra had won the scrum there, 10 out from their own line, and we're on the first tackle. The ball in possession by Sebastian Chris. Might have copped a bit of a knock there. He's got up rather gingerly at the moment, Chris. So we're on the second play. Now, Zach Hoskins in possession of the ball. He's been able to make 10 metres in the process. A loose pass there from Levi, and Timoko back in possession of the ball, pretty close to the halfway mark now.
They're in a bunch, the Raiders. They really, I was going to say they need to spread it, but they got no one out wide.
4 tackles in for the Raiders. Levi into dummy half now, 35 out, and Fogarty goes to the air. He's gone high in the air. It's going to drop about 12 out, but right underneath it was Addo-Carr to wrap it up, and the Bulldogs are back in possession.
Here they are. They've got to get out of their own Westpac red zone here, and there's Cherry. He's had a good game today. He's been a good buy for them, hasn't he, since he's come back into the rugby league fold, and he's a big thing. He's fast. And he's been good for them this year.
Yeah, Bronson's been back in play less than 12 months and has made a big impact. Bulldogs going with a run there with Jacob Preston's on the touchline. They're 3 tackles down. And
is that Harry?
I think it's Harry. Yeah. Harry Hayes, HH. Harry plays the ball to Marnie. And a cut-out pass. Now Burton, kick out. Wrapped up by 3 defenders now in total. 5th and final tackle, and they're just inside the halfway mark now, the Bulldogs. Sexton just fumbled there, so he wasn't really prepared for the kick. He's got it in towards the touchline, and it's gone into touch.
Been a pretty good kick in the end. You did fumble it, as you said, and then he was put under a heap of pressure from the Raiders players coming through, but his kick, I don't think it went exactly where he wanted it to go, but it ended up being pretty effective there. It bounced, one bounce into touch. So the Raiders probably get a scrum feed here about 10 metres out from their own line.
Sexton just telling his mates there, never in doubt.
Yes.
Raiders in possession of the ball now. We're 15 out from full time. Bulldogs 16, Raiders 12. 4 in it.
Another text here too. They love you. Hey fellas, this hair pulling thing is becoming a joke. Good calling, Darren. Give Big Man and Sowie a clip under the ears if they get out of hand.
Penalty here.
You get called Sowie a lot.
Great. Penalty to the Raiders.
Sorry, mate. Let's call the game. Sorry about that.
A bit of a strip there, and a penalty's been awarded to the Raiders.
Well, there's 14 minutes to go here. It's 16 points to 12. They're certainly in the game, the Raiders. I've got to say, I don't think they deserve to win it, but it is certainly on the radar. It's certainly possible.
They need this win today to remain relevant. They'll go to 8th position if they can. Now Fogarty with a run across the field, links up with Timoko. It was a rush pass out to Savage, who was going into touch, but he's been able to push the ball back and keep the play running.
Holding his head. No, he's going to get up and play. You know what? Good on K.O. Weeks. He was going to stay down there, I reckon, Savage, and K.O. Weeks grabbed his jersey basically and pulled him up. So get up and play it, mate. Good on him.
Yep. Very well handled there by Savage. So the Raiders in possession of the ball. 3 tackles in. Going for a run here, Levi. And Levi's been wrapped up by Kurt Mann. Now, on the 5th and last tackle, Bulldogs kick, the Raiders kick it deep into Bulldogs territory, and Connor Tracy's quickly on the scene. And he's gone for a run there of about 8 metres or so and is brought to ground. So the Bulldogs back in possession.
Oh, that's a crusher. That's a crusher. Might be 2 or 3 involved in the crusher there. He got the ball. He backed into him. I mean, that's what happens. He's okay. It was Carraz, but there was about 3 Raiders players who came in and tried to get him. Levi was there. Hudson Young over the top, and there was a bit more force put in from another player coming in there.
We're giving Bronson Sherry a rap earlier. I just see he's made more yardage in this game than anyone else by a significant margin.
Has he really?
191 metres.
Has he really? Geez, that's a lot. That is a lot of metres. He's been very good. Well, he's been very good all year, really, Bronson Cherry, but I think he's just, he's been out for how long? 3 years, Pig?
Yeah, 4 year ban, wasn't it?
Yeah. 3 or 4 years. So it's not easy to just step back up, particularly with a new club, and he's done a great job.
I see he's 23.
Is that all he is?
Yeah.
Jeez, he's
I was a bit surprised there when I saw he's just 23, considering the time off. Bulldogs in possession. Josh Curran goes to ground here on the 2nd tackle. So Bulldogs 16, Raiders 12, and we've got 12 and a half minutes to go to full time. Preston's Kurt Mann out to Sexton, and Sexton has to go to ground there on the 3rd tackle. So Bulldogs in possession. Reed Marnie, a loose, sloppy pass there. I think Connor Tracy's come in to scoop it up, so no ground has been gained there, and we're on the 4th tackle now. Kick out dummy half, a very sluggish pass, and a strong tackle there on Kurt Mann. Kurt Mann brought down in a strong tackle by Tarpanay. Now Burton goes to the air on the 5th and last tackle. And coming through Crichton. He pops it out to Addo-Carr. Addo-Carr goes to the corner and scores a double.
Well, it's a brilliant bit of work, isn't it? It's a brilliant bit of work. The Harvey Norman replay shows the bomb goes in the air and Crichton comes from an onside position, out jumps the fullback for the Raiders, catches it, and then he looks to his left. He's got 2 or 3 Bulldogs players on his outside. I reckon he could have nearly scored himself there, Crichton. Look at the chase from him in the middle of the park. He just goes in there, out jumps the fullback, gives it on the outside. He did a good job there to pick that up at O'Carr because the pass wasn't perfect from Crichton. He had to stop and lean back a little bit here at O'Carr, but he did it brilliantly. Great take from Crichton. What an impact he's had on this game today. Geez, he came in a bit late, the Raiders player there on Ad O'Carr. I don't know if they'll say anything about that, but I think he could have possibly pulled out of that. But that's just brilliant work from Crichton. Gives it on the outside to Ad O'Carr, grabs it, scores. Hudson Young comes in. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, not a lot of impact there, was there? But what about Crichton? As you say, he's the right centre. Came infield, came to the middle of the field, chases a kick that goes to the left side of the field just to make a play, put himself in the picture. You see it here. He comes and tucks himself in behind the ruck. He's the right centre, and he chases over to the left here, makes a play over the top of Weeks, able to find his winger, and you think with that try they seal the win here, the Bulldogs?
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Because the Raiders have struggled to score points all day, but that is just a good play. They've looked like they've been trying to get, this sort of momentum for the whole half as he tries to kick it in front of the Bulldogs bench there, so they wouldn't be sledging.
He's only a metre in from the touchline too, Burton. He's kicked it brilliantly here. Absolutely perfect. Straight as a gun barrel over the black dot, advancing the lead of the Bulldogs. I think I can start hearing the tooting of horns from behind the grandstand, the blowing of horns from the Bulldog supporters.
When they won their grand final, I can't remember what year it was, probably 10 years ago or so, I remember driving home from the stadium back to Cronulla. I live at Cronulla. Well, you know that you've been to my place. But, mate, the number of people tooting horns and all that stuff and hanging out of windows and whatever was just crazy.
Are you a horn tooter or a horn blower?
Well, depends if I'm talking about myself. I would say...
You like to blow your own horn?
If I'm talking about myself, I'm a horn blower. But if I'm talking about someone else, I'm just a tutor.
Just tutor.
Yeah, just tutor. I mean, that doesn't worry me, other people, but I love myself.
Oh, the Bulldogs, Smithies here, boys.
The Bulldogs lead this by 10s, and Smithies is down. Number 13 for the Raiders, the Englishman.
Doesn't know if he's in Manchester or Belmore.
That was good.
Thank you. Thank you. You like that? Manchester?
Yes.
Is that how they talk in Manchester? I sound like one of the Beatles. But that's Liverpool.
That's a head knock.
I like your obstruction.
Obstruction? Mate, I don't know why I do obstruction in Pommy accent all the time. I just do. It's obstruction.
I heard you last night. I thought it was by accident, but I didn't realise it was by design.
That's how he does it.
I do it on purpose.
Well, Smithies is back up. I'm not sure how long he'll stay up for. He's going off now.
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, my friend Darren, but you know that the Bulldogs have played in the grand finals in 74, 84, 94, 2004 and 2014.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That is eerie. Yes.
So I'm going to say this. There's a common denominator there, and that's the 4.
Yes.
You with me? And
You're a numbers man. You love a roulette wheel.
What year is this we're talking about now, Darren?
2024.
I rest my case.
And is it true that it went win-loss, win-loss?
Yes.
84 win, 94 loss, 2004 win, 2014 loss. So 2024.
Well, the omens have it. And I am going to their little function on the Friday before the grand final this year to have a little drinky poo with a few of my old teammates.
For a fee?
No. I hope I don't have to pay to go. But
no, I thought
I'm not
you're not hosting it, or
I'll probably be doing something because I'm very entertaining.
Morgan Smithies, there's his cast. He's had to leave the ground in somewhat of a daze. So the Bulldogs in possession. 10 minutes to go, and there's 10 in it. Josh Curran playing the ball now from Reid Marnie, going for a gallop here. Kurt Mann. Man brought down on the fourth tackle, just a little bit short of the halfway line now. Sam Hughes making another 5 or 6 metres there, brought down by 3 defenders, so they're just inside Canberra territory now. Burton's gone for the very high deep kick. Xavier Savage right underneath it. There's plenty of pressure on him, but he had no issue with that, and Xavier Savage has got possession back for the Raiders.
Yeah, and at the moment they need a miracle, don't they, the Raiders, with just under 10 minutes to go. They're down by 10 points, 22 points to 12, and you know, scoring tries today has been difficult for them. They've managed to score 2, but I wouldn't say they've been very impressive on the attack.
Addo-Carr with a double here today. It's only his 10th game of the season as well for Josh Addo-Carr. Righto, the Raiders in possession, 4th tackle. Papali, he goes on a strong run, making good yardage there on the 5th and last tackle. Now they play the ball there with Levi, and now Canberra put the boot to it. Right, oh, a bit of a fumble there from Connor Tracy. And the referee's called a knock on here from the Bulldogs fullback.
Have they got a challenge left? I can't recall.
No, they used it. No, they used it with the kick out. No try right on the try
line. He'd be disappointed with that, Connor Tracy. He's been really good for them this year, but he'd be disappointed with that. Let's have a look at it. I think that's gone backwards.
So do I.
But you know.
So do I.
So does he.
Yeah, I think so. But
righto, so
well, you know what? It changes the game. It can change the game. If they score a try here, you know, it's game back on here. They're down by 10 points here. They're in a great attacking position. Who's to say they can't score here?
Now, Savage feeds the scrum, although it's bounced back out
Did
again.
he knock that on and
Mate,
smother it?
This is some of the worst scrum feeding I've ever seen.
Break.
Here it is.
Well, it doesn't even touch legs anymore, does it?
No.
Righto, Raiders on the attack, on the hillside. Weeks, pass out to Rapana, and Rapana charges across to put the Raiders back in business.
Darren, you need one of these. Don't touch that, that's picking.
Don't touch the dial.
Don't you go anywhere, Darren. It's right on here now. They've scored in the corner through Rapana, and again it comes off that contentious decision. It was pretty poor defence, I've got to say, out wide. Crichton got caught out of position, went to KO Weeks. He just threw it on the outside, one-handed to Rapana, and he did the rest. He's a great finisher, Rapana, but that's a great bit of hole running there from KO Weeks. Rapana scores, 3 or 4 metres in from touch. It's very kickable, this. 22 points to 16. Could easily be 22-18, and we've got a ripping finish coming our way.
If any Bulldogs fan was thinking about an early exit to the car park, they've done a quick pirouette and they're back in the gate again. This is going to be a thrilling finish.
I think so. I mean, that's a really nice try to Rapana. I wonder how many tries he's scored for the Raiders over the years. He's probably scored a gazillion. I'm having a look here. Let's have a look. Scored a double last week against the Rabbitohs, equal Brett Mullins, 105. So he's now got 106 for the Raiders. So Brett Mullins was third on the list. He's now gone into third by himself. He scored 3 tries in his past 3 games for the Dogs. Let's make that 4 in his past 4.
Fogarty coming in for the conversion. He's been striking at 81%. 81%. And he really needs this so the Raiders can get a buffer zone to get closer. And it's straight through. Game on. Game on here at Belmore. The Raiders have picked up their 6 points there, and the score on the low scoreboard is now Bulldogs 22, Raiders 18. There's 4 in it. And we've got about 5 or 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, I mean, they just snuck up on them. They keep sneaking up, don't they? Like the Dogs get to a lead, the Raiders hit back. The Dogs get to a lead. It was 6-all at half-time. The Dogs went to 10-6. Then it was 16-6. Then it was 16-12, 22-12, now 22-18. So they haven't really got to the front in this game. One stage they've been in front, and that was in the first half when they scored their first try. Since then, they've been chasing, but they've got time to do it. There's still 6 minutes to go.
Rapana's 6th try of the season now. Papali in possession of the ball, and Papali wrapped up by 3 defenders. Yes, we've got 6 minutes to go. Bang on 6 minutes here at the Belmore Sports Ground. Bulldogs 22, Raiders 18 on the low scoreboard. Now Hudson Young goes for a runner, trying to bring it up towards the halfway line. So the Raiders have got a sniff here. They've struggled to beat Canterbury over the years. In fact, they've only played here on 14 occasions since Canberra came into the premiership, and we're going right back to 1982, and the Bulldogs have won 11 times in those 14 encounters. Here come the Raiders now on the last tackle. A very, very high kick. There's no wind here tonight, but it goes straight down the neck of Rapana. And
6 again.
6 again.
Yeah, he tried to pop it over the back. I think Carrar's got a hand on it, and Rapana out-jumped him. So here's an opportunity for the Raiders. They're only 30 metres out. They've got 6 tackles up their sleeve.
Papali, he goes on a run. But they're all watching him, and he's brought down. He says, come on, let's go. Looking for a quick play of the ball here, Papali. He now to Pani, cross to Fogarty. Going to ground there, Elliot Whitehead is back with us, and Elliot Whitehead's going to play it 25 out from the line. Now Levi into dummy half across to Fogarty, and to Pane, pops it out to Levi again. Now to Whitehead, is running towards the grandstand side of the ground, and Whitehead's going to play it only 10 yards out from the line on the fourth tackle. Now the Raiders, what are they going to do here? Tom Starling was dancing around. He didn't really have a plan there, and he's gone to ground on the fifth tackle here. Now Fogarty. Now they're going to run the ball to the hillside. Sebastian Chris popped it out to Rapana. The ball's still alive. Well, that's now past tense. The Bulldogs have been able to pick up possession here, only metres out from their line.
Well, they did well to hold on there, the Dogs, because they were threatening the Raiders on their left side. In the end, it was a pass from Rapana back on the inside. If it would have found one of the Raiders players, well, it might have been danger there for the Bulldogs. But the Bulldogs snaffled it. And here's Josh Addo-Carr trying to make some metres here. They're only 10 metres out from their line. I don't know if they're going to make too much. They're going to spread it here, the Dogs.
And Kickow in possession of the ball.
He's been good today. Jesus, is a big thing, isn't he, Kickow? What a good player he is. Good run from Moran.
Righto, last tackle here for the Bulldogs. Just under 4 minutes to go. Now Burton goes with a more shallow kick deep into Raiders territory. And it's picked up by the fullback Weeks, who goes for a run on his own and brings it up about 7 metres short of the halfway line. So Raiders back in possession with 3.5 minutes to go here at Belmore. The Bulldogs 22. They lead by 4 points. 3 tackles down now for the Raiders. Going for a run there, Hudson Young. Starling, I should say. Now Starling, they pass it to the left with Papali'i. Papali'i doesn't have the support there, so he has to go to ground here on the fourth tackle. So time's starting to tick. The clock is ticking here for the Raiders, and they run it through. They run it hard there with Whitehead, and he got the pass away. We're on the last tackle now for the Raiders. Now Fogarty puts a kick in, and Sexton was able to ground the ball.
Oh, great job there from Sexton. It was a nice kick from Fogarty, but if it was about a metre to the right or even left, we might have had a better result. I think it was well weighted. It looked to me like it was going to sit up in the in-goal area there, but Toby Sexton did a fantastic job. Bulldogs here probably got to defend one more set, and they win the game. Great work from Sexton.
Bronson Sherry just went with a good run there. He's made more yardage than anyone here tonight. Connor Tracy goes for a run and brings it up to 10 metres short of the halfway line. Kickow goes on his own for a strong run.
See, that's going to help them here, big time here. He's got 2 minutes to go in the game. Kickow copped a high one there. Look, I don't think it was all that bad, but he did cop a high one. What did he do?
Some of the kiddies in the ground were suggesting
a challenge. Coming up to the last.
Captain's challenge for a high tackle. Geez, I haven't seen many of them.
I didn't think you could do that.
I wouldn't have thought you could.
Hudson Young makes high contact with Billy Army kick out. The challenge is unsuccessful.
You never see those.
I didn't know you could do that either, but they've challenged. I suppose you got one up your sleeve with 2 minutes to go. I suppose you do something like that.
Okay, well, it all gets down to the next 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Bulldogs 22, Raiders 18. Bulldogs trying to put themselves in a position for the top 4 in the immediate future, and the Raiders need this to go into the top 8. They're better for it against than the Dragons, who scored the upset win against the Storm last night. So the Bulldogs are in possession. They lead by 4 with just over 2 minutes to go, and the Bulldogs are certainly taking their time. Bronson Sherry takes the tap to Burton, and now Josh Curran. Josh Curran more than happy to go to ground with less than 2 minutes left on the clock. The referee's called it to go back over and continue the play of the ball. So now Reid Marnie pops it over to Kurt Mann, and Kurt Mann will go to ground. They're inside the Raiders territory now. Reid Marnie into dummy half, and a pass over to the 16 for the Bulldogs, Curtis Moran, and Moran's happy to take the tackle there with 3 tackles down. Connor Tracy goes for a run. He's stepping. He's still on the run, Connor Tracy, but they've got him now on the 4th tackle, and we're about 1:30 from full time. 1 to go. here for the Bulldogs. Jacob Preston with a strong run towards the corner line, and he's brought down about 3 metres short. This is the last play now for the Bulldogs. Marnie goes on a short run on his own, and they've smothered him, and the Bulldogs have gone to ground. They're on the 5th tackle.
Yeah, I suppose it's probably a pretty good result there for the Dogs, because he's got tackled right in the corner there. He's about 2 metres out from the line, about a metre in from touch. They're going to have to run 100 metres to win the game here, the Raiders. Let's see what I would imagine there's going to be a kick across field at some stage here.
55 seconds to go. 55 seconds on the all.com clock. And the Raiders trying to run it out of their own 20. Doing a good job of it there as well. 30 out now. 30 out from their own line. And Starling across to Tapane, and Tapane's been wrapped up. 30 seconds to go, 3 tackles down. This is the last chance now for the Raiders in this blockbuster at Belmore. Hudson Young goes for a run. He's coming back in field, and he's gone smothered to ground there by 3 Bulldogs defenders. 18 seconds to go. They go to the air now. On the the second last tackle, the Raiders, and it's right. Well, 2 of the Bulldogs players went for it, but Josh Adokar called it mine. He's grabbed the ball. There's 6 seconds to go. The Bulldogs are home.
He did a great job there, Josh Adokar. That was a great kick there from the 5'8", Adam Cook. It was high in the air, and it just floating around, and in the end, Adokar did a great job. That's it, full time. Great work, Darren. Bulldogs 22 beat the Raiders 18 in what ended up being a decent game of football, particularly, well, the second half was good. First half was a bit average, but the second half was good.
It was a fantastic second half compared to that first half, you have to say that. Plenty of points, 22 points to 18. The Bulldogs beat the Raiders. Neil Breen here. I'll take you right through till 7 o'clock tonight. A little bit later, we'll do Wide World of Sports. But I got to ask Darren. Oh, hang on. We might go to Josh Adokar quickly now. He's talking with Brad Fittler on the 9 coverage.
It's been the longest 8-9 weeks, and the boys have been having so much fun. I just wanted to get out here and compete with them, bro. It's been an amazing journey so far, and I'm absolutely loving it, bro.
What was it like when you ran down the sideline to score that first try? The joint went mad.
It's the best feeling in the world, bro. When you're in that situation, that's a feeling I miss, bro. That's a feeling I miss. I'm so glad to be back, bro, and I love playing with these boys and being a part of this club. I'm truly blessed.
The second try come off a Stephen Crichton pass. He's the right centre. He's come over, hooks up with you, scores a try. What's Stephen Crichton meant to this club?
Oh, he's been amazing for us, bro. Ever since he's come to the club, he's taught all us boys about the system. And our theme tonight was compete. Obviously, it's Josh Papali's 300th game, and we knew that they were going to compete tonight, and we wanted to go against it. So I'm so proud of the boys' efforts, and what a spot to do it at.
We might leave in there, Josh Adokar. Darren Flindell, I've got 2 questions for you. Firstly, do you think Brad Fittler's his bra? He said bra about 1,000 times. Secondly, how was your call, mate? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I thought I was going pretty ordinary in the first half, and I went to the bathroom and I said, come on, Darren, you've got to lift. I've got to come back. So I was much happy with my performance in the second half.
I think you were fantastic
Great
on debut.
work, mate.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Well,
Fantastic
this is what
on debut.
punters are saying it like a good racehorse. Darren hit the line hard. Good work, mate.
Hopefully I'll be much stronger second up Knights and Tigers.
It's not
next
easy,
week.
mate.
No.
Damn hard.
Winks got beaten at a first start.
Yes, yeah, she got rolled a few times.
Yeah.
Yes.
They ended up winning 33 in a row. Darryl Broman, firstly, I might just take care of the man of the match situations. Time for the continuous call team's player of the match, thanks to Harvey Norman. Shortly, I'll give you 3 players who are in the running, or Big Mum will. When you hear them, if you're based in New South Wales or Queensland, be one of the first 3 callers through on the prize line. Now, the prize line is 1300 722 873. 1300 722 873. The first caller will get first choice of the 3 players, and so on until the 3 players are allocated. Then when I announce the player of the match, the caller that has that player will win a $200 Harvey Norman gift card. The continuous call team's player of the match, thanks to Harvey Norman. Shop furniture, bedding, TVs, home appliances, computers and technology in-store or online. Big man, take it away.
Joseph Tarpanay, Bronson Cherry and Stephen Crichton are my 3.
So they're the 3 players. Joseph Tarpanay, Bronson Cherry and Stephen Crichton. Crichton was enormous this afternoon, Piggy.
Yeah, he did a really good job, didn't he? You know, we've mentioned how the game didn't reach any great heights, but he scored that first try in the first half where he beat Sebastian Chris and the winger Rapana. And then in the second half, he scored that try where he chipped over the top, scored in the corner. And then I think we just heard it on the coverage there. The bomb went up. He came from the right side of the field to the left, made a play over the KO Weeks and found Addo Carr for one of Addo Carr's tries. So real good knock from the skipper.
They were pretty brave in the second half, the Raiders, and they came back at them and probably, in that last 7-8 minutes got a bit untidy, 50,
yeah, they did.
Tackle.
I think they were untidy the whole game, really,
Yeah,
to be really
fair.
honest with you. Ricky would be happy with the guts they showed and, and their competitiveness and all that sort of stuff. But I think from a skill level, they lack a few skillful players, I think. They're prepared to do the dirty stuff, which is, it's hard to do. But there are plenty of players who do it. But I think they just need someone, around the halves who just got a little bit of footy nous about them. And even one of their forwards. In saying that, they've got a couple of players who are very good players. The front rowers are good players. I think Hudson Young's a really good player. But they can't. They're just lacking a couple of class players in the halves, I reckon.
I suppose it's the big challenge for them, Piggy, is how do they get those players? It's always a struggle for Ricky to get them down to Canberra.
Yeah, well, obviously, Ethan Strange, he was the 18th man. He's still only young. He's 19. They've signed Ethan Sanders from the Parramatta Eels, who comes down there next season. That's got big raps on him. They've come out publicly, Canberra, and said that they're investing in a lot of these young kids for their future. You have a look across there. KO Weeks is 22, Savage 22, Strange 19. It's a pretty experienced pack, but they've got a sprinkling of these youngsters coming into the team, and that's what they're going to have to do. That there's going to be a period for a while until these guys get a good 50 games under their belt and start learning what the NRL's like week in, week out. They're going to have some weeks where they're just not on.
What does that do to the ladder situation now, Piggy? The Bulldogs, does that take them up to 28 on the ladder, just 2 points out of the 4?
Yeah, they should sit just under that top 4 now off the back of that win today. So the ladder on the NRL side hasn't been adjusted, but they go to 28 with the Cowboys. They'll jump the Cowboys, so they'll sit in front of them in 5th spot within striking distance of the Sharkies. And the Raiders, well, obviously that just leaves them 2 points out of the 8. The Dragons, they'll continue to sit in 8th spot. The Raiders will have it all to do now off the back of that loss to the Bulldogs. Dragons sit in 8th. Seagulls in 7th.
Where are the Raiders, mate? What are they on?
They're in 10th in 24. So they're 2 points out of the 8.
Yeah, I mean, they can get there, but I don't know if they're good enough. I mean, look, call a spade a spade. I don't think they're a good enough side to make the 8. I think there's way better sides than them.
Well, you have a look. Well, the Dragons are sitting in 8th at the moment. The Dragons have got a big game against the Bulldogs next Saturday. They then take on the Dragons have got the Titans, the Sharks, the Eels and the Raiders to finish the season. So
Titans, Sharks, Raiders and Eels. Did you say?
Eels and Raiders.
So it's not a bad run home for them.
And as a Dragon supporter, I'm not saying they're going to win all their games, but you'd give them hope in those games, that they play. They're not playing Penrith, they're not playing the Storm, not playing the Roosters. The Dragons have it. They've got an opportunity. That's all I'll say about the Dragons sitting in 8th.
You ready to do the actual man of the match?
Yes.
Okay, Craig from Picton, he picked Stephen Crichton. Rod from Carringbar picked Bronson Sherry. Bronson Sherry, you guys talked about, out of the game 4 years. Like, what a season he's having.
Yep.
Alan from Eastwood picked Joseph Tarpany. Big man,
Craig from Picton, I think he tipped Stephen Crichton. He scored 2. Threw the last pass to the other try that he scored 4. So he was involved in everything good. He's a hell of a player, and he's doing a great job at the Bulldogs. So he's my player of the match, Stephen Crichton.
Okay, Stephen Crichton, he was enormous today. Well done. Craig from Picton, you nominated that player, and he is the continuous call team's player of the match thanks to Harvey Norman. You've won the $200 Harvey Norman gift card. Stay listening for the next game. We'll call for another chance to win thanks to Harvey Norman. We might take a break, boys. We'll come back with Wide World of Sports. Great afternoon of rugby league action. We'll wrap up the entire round in the NRL, and we'll have a look forward to the Olympics as well. You'll be happy to know,
Yes.
Big Man.
Yes.
I've been right through the schedule.
What's tonight?
Yeah, I've been right through the schedule. I got the whole thing here. You don't need to sleep tonight.
No, well, I will, but I'll try and wake up and listen to Levy talk about stuff.
But there's a few curveballs for people tonight they need to be aware of because the swimming finals are at a different time. And I'll also let you know whether Australia is going to topple the US on the swimming medal tally. Yeah, let's just...
Tight.
It's fair to say...
There's still a few swimming events to go.
Four.
Four, is it? That's it.
Women's 50 freestyle.
We're a chance in that, aren't we?
No, can't win it. Sarah Sjostrom, the Swede, will win it.
Okey-doke.
The men's 1500.
That's one of Breeny's shorties, I reckon.
Any chance in that one?
The men's 1500, we're not even in the final.
No. Okay, fair enough.
So the Irishman, Daniel Whiffen, will be winning that. And then we've got the 2 4x100 metre medley relays.
Well, we've got to be a chance in
We're
that.
a chance in the women's. But we're up against we're $6. The USA's $1.15.
Who's our 4 in the medley without trying to put you on the spot?
Tip and Arnie will make
the
it.
girls.
I have them written down.
Well, Kaylee McEwen would be doing the backstroke.
Yeah,
Arnie will be doing
she's doing
one.
the backstroke. No, Arnie's not doing. Molly O'Callaghan's doing the freestyle. And Emma McKeon is doing the butterfly leg, and I can't remember the name of the girl who's doing the breaststroke. Okay. I'll look it up. Can I look it up in the break?
Sorry,
stop asking a question without
Well,
notice.
we got 3 of the 4 pretty quickly.
I did just read it, but I kind of forgot. I forgot it.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's good. Here's your violet crumbles. I don't want to eat any more.
Oh, no, I had the 2 before, which turned into a 3. It's break time.